Lake of the Ozarks Shootout is a boating spectacle like nothing else on the planet. For the last 36 years, boaters, gearheads, volunteers, and fans have grown this unique annual event into a must-attend for boaters across the globe. From marine innovation to first-time racers, records being chased, and everything else in between, the Shootout has offered one of the most coveted opportunities in water sports. Go as fast as humanly possible and see who goes the fastest. When you pair in the nearly $5 million this event has raised for local charities and fire departments, it's no wonder that everyone is talking about the LOTO Shootout. For the next 4+ hours, we take a look back at the history, the makeup, and show you what makes the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout so special. We'll take a look back at 2024 and set the stage for what promises to be the most exciting shootout yet. Get ready to join me, William Holtz, for Lake TV's exclusive 2025 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout pre-race show. Welcome to Lake TV's exclusive 2025 LOTO Shootout pre-race show. I'm William Holtz, excited you're joining us, and for the next 3.5+ hours, we're going to get you ready for this weekend's Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. We got so much to talk about, of course, new location, the return of Spirit of Qatar, so much else going on, and to get you set, I am going to be joined by Hall of Famer Ray Lee here shortly to set the biggest headlines this weekend. Man, so much to talk about for the annual Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. You guys have seen it all week long on our pages and all over the place. So without further ado, we're going to be joined here in just a moment by Ray Lee. I caught up with him earlier today in between the poker run. He's fresh off his induction in the Shootout Hall of Fame. We'll talk about that. But first, to get us set for this weekend's event tomorrow, Ray Lee with Speedboat Magazine. We got Ray Lee now from Speedboat Magazine as we get ready for this weekend's Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. Man, hard to believe it's already here.
I know. It's this season has flown by. My guys and I were just saying, like, remember checking into our condo last year, going like, can't believe we're back, and now we just said it again last night.
It flies by. Seems like we were just together at Insurance Offshore, and now a couple months, it's the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, and a big year for you, as we'll see later in the pre-race show, your Hall of Fame interview, but congrats on being inducted into the Hall of Fame, man.
Thank you very much, Will. It's a huge honor, and yeah, I still can't believe it.
I thought way overdue, very deserving, and really excited for that, and what a class you're included in, which we'll touch on later. But Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, Ray, first year at a new location. There's lots of new storylines, and should be a pretty exciting weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot that's unknown, especially for us. We don't know where we're going. We're just kind of feeling it out. But I'm excited, and it seems like the town is really abuzz with the new location, and especially being so centrally located on the lake.
Yeah, we've been around all week. Yeah, the Hall of Fame dinner was huge on Tuesday. The street party as big as I can remember, and it's been a big weekend. People are in town for the races, and what they want to see, we all know, is who's going to drop the top speed. So when you look at last year, there's so many storylines. One I want to start with before we get into ethanol and some of their challengers, but how about the V-bottom? How about Factory Billet with Mike Vocher and Mr. Schultz?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Factory Billet has always been a performer. They've upped their game last year with a 186, I believe, yeah. And for a V-bottom to go that fast, and then from what I understand, they have a chance to beat it again this year. Yeah, it was crazy Saturday morning. They were the first one on the course. Dropped that 186. Mike had to get out, so they were quick to leave. But I know a lot of people are touching base with that team, looking at them on social media, and if you saw, they're ready to go. And like you said, they're talking about, hey, we're not planning on repeating the same speed. We're looking to add to it, so I'll be interested to see them hit the course, and it'll be interesting to see. Do they have another 4 miles? Could that boat actually hit 190? Man, that would be something to see for sure. I wouldn't put it past them, but it's mind-blowing to think a big V-bottom that big can go the numbers that a big cat can. So it's unreal. Insane. Yeah. And then we look at a couple of the other big storylines. We got our first look a year ago at Freedom 1, that incredible boat, and it's the most viral boat crash in the history of boat crashes. I mean, I saw you everywhere for a month after, because that was your video. That was our video, yeah. And walk us through that weekend. Yeah, it was crazy. We were at Desert Storm for the shootout, and I was up in the booth doing the broadcast, so I was unable to be on the boat with my photography team. So I sent them across from the spectator fleet and told them, I go, be near the finish line. And so I had, of course, Tommy and Carter and Andy Lang was on the boat. He was doing the cell phone video for me, and it had been his first time, and he was sending me some runs before it, and I thought to myself, like, he's a little bit wide, on that angle. I was just about to text him, like, I'll crop in a little bit, but I'm like, I'll leave it alone. Because I can always trim it down, but I can't widen out. And then right after that, that boat took off, and that's why, you'll have to excuse the foul language that's on the video, but he was blown away. All the F-bombs that he dropped was organic. And I think maybe, it was a natural reaction, and it went everywhere. Like you said, it went viral. Thankfully, both racers were okay and walked away largely uninjured. But once we got confirmation of that, we went live with it, and we were interviewed by Good Morning America. I mean, we New York Post, all of the NBC, CBS, ABC affiliates. It went over to the BBC. It was everywhere. So
I've seen that video as much as any viral offshore video in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Like that boat hit so hard, and as you alluded to, Ray, the fact that both of those racers were okay.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with the way the boats are now manufactured? And talk us through that.
Yeah, no question. So Peter Ledden, the mastermind behind high performance catamarans and skater power boats, he builds one of the fastest, most safe boats that's out there. So the cockpit and the safety equipment was in that boat definitely lent a hand in preserving those guys' lives. Also, the wind was a large factor. They were running into a head-on wind, so when the boat started to lift, it flew them in the air, but it took some of the velocity off of their boat as they were running down the course and kind of hung them up there a little bit longer. It took a lot of the inertia off their boat, and so when they hit the water, it was lessened and a lot better than it could have been.
Right. So instead of being at 200-mile-an-hour speed, it's slowed well down by the point of impact, which is why, it's just crazy. So they're down. What's crazy is you have a wreck like that, and you say, okay, I'm thankful to be alive. I'm going to hang it up. No, they're right back to the drawing board, ready to try to set some records. And seeing that boat last year make its debut, they were disqualified because they didn't let off at the finish line. But if you were close at the finish line, I'd say they had to be close to 200 miles an hour when they actually accelerated.
Yeah, exactly. And they recorded, 170 something, right?
Their speed was 170, but I just felt like, man, they could have got a lot more in there.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, that boat was moving, and that was the thing, and we heard a lot of pre-chatter about it, like, oh yeah, this skater's coming with, drag car engines, and like, oh, what? And so when it finally showed up and the rumors were true, we were all anxious to see that boat run, and when it came down the course, like, oh yeah, this thing is moving. Because in years past when we're watching the coverage or doing the coverage from the bluff, you can see the big rooster tail and you can see how fast the big boats get down the course. And that thing was moving, coming straight at us in no time.
Yeah, that's one skater in particular. Another one worth noting, Team Yahoo, Jammin' Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, I think 186 or 196 last year was DQ'd. And then they had that real viral, like, near crash, right? Close call where they side spun out. That's a boat that has got a lot of fans and is capable of fast speeds.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jamin, he runs that boat very well. He's run it all over the place. He's run the Texas Outlaw Shootout numerous times. I believe he won that last year. But yeah, he's got a pair of boost power engines in it, and they're always competitive and always good to see what numbers are going to put up.
It's going to be exciting. Now, we got other things we could talk about, but it's a crazy day for Ray Lee. We're going to let him get ready for tomorrow's races. So just real quick, we got to touch on these three. Spirit of Guitar, new name, new owner. You got American Ethanol, 10-time consecutive Top Gun champion. And then, of course, you got the Dirty Duck, who just joined the 200-mile-per-hour club. Of those three, give me a rundown. What are you expecting this weekend?
So, yeah, those are definitely the top three and the ones to watch, right? And so, Dirty Duck, really excited about the first non-Mystic hull that has broken the 200-mile-an-hour record, especially in a 3/4 mile course. And so last year it was Myrick Coil and Rusty Williams in the cockpit. This year, Myrick, due to contractual limitations, has stepped out of the cockpit. He's going to be replaced by Adam Serafin, who is a longtime performance boater and can definitely run a boat well. He'll be joining Rusty and their friends, and so they jive well together. I spoke to them last week, and they're confident, and they've been doing some testing, and so yeah, they're confident they're going to beat last year's number. The Spirit of Qatar, unbelievable. Steve Curtis, he ran that boat on the 1 mile course back when it was Spirit of Qatar with the Sheikh, and unbelievable, 244 miles an hour. Blistering, right? And so I spoke to Steve at the Boyne Thunder event, and he was still in the process of updating the boat and getting it shootout ready. And he said that he felt pretty confident that he would beat the 3/4 mile record this weekend. So we'll see about that.
So all eyes on Steve Curtis, and it's cool that he got to, as you said, be with the Sheikh and the Spirit of Qatar, but to come back in 11 years later. After that. How fast do you think they'll go with it being 3/4 of a mile? You don't think they can do 244 on that course, do you?
No, I don't. And even Steve told me he didn't think he could touch that number because, I mean, it's a full 1/4 mile, and especially with the turbine engines, they need the room to spool up and really get it going. So they won't be able to do that within 3/4 mile. However, I do think they'll be in the 220s, maybe a little faster.
Man, it's going to be so fun to watch it all unfold, and we'll end with your take on Don Onken, American Ethanol, and the Mystic. We got to talk about that. 10 years in a row, man.
10 years. I mean, a decade of winning the Top Gun trophy. And Don Onken, he doesn't mess around, and he comes to win. And the partnership of John Kosker and Tony Battiato in that cockpit has been flawless, and they've run some exciting runs, as you know, last year doing 221 and just blistering, and that's all. The black and yellow boat is an icon now, and it's a staple of this community, will forever be. And but this is a year that they can be upset by some serious contenders.
Yeah, and with them going 221 last year, you'll remember they had the two different engine packages, right? And this year they're where they want to be. They feel pretty confident about topping that 221. So I'll be interested. Let's say that Durana Hybrid comes out and drops at 225, 230 on Saturday.
Yeah.
What does that then mean for Don Onken and crew? Are they going to come out and run more? And I would like to think.
Well, you know as well as I do, the Onken family, and especially Don at the helm, is not going to sit back and say, oh, okay, I'm going to let this go. Every year I ask him the same thing after he wins the Top Gun trophy. It's like, so Don, are you happy? And every year, without fail, he gives me the same answer. He goes, yeah, well, I'm happy, but I'm not satisfied. So I know he's not satisfied from the 221, so I'm super anxious to see what he comes out with this year.
That's super. Well, Ray, man, I appreciate it. What a weekend it's going to be. I'm looking forward to connecting with you over the weekend. But hey, just real quick, if you haven't plugged into Speedboat Magazine, it is the #1 online source and magazine in America for all things speedboat, offshore, and big power on the water. Make sure you go check them out on Instagram and all platforms. Ray Lee, 2025 Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Famer. Thanks for your time, brother.
Thanks, Will.
So great to catch up with Ray. As you heard, fresh off his Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Fame induction. You could see why he was a little chipper, and I'm going to go give you guys a little teaser. We're about to give you the top 10 runs from 2024, but before we did that, I wanted to turn back the clock a couple of years, because in 2023, it was one of the most iconic years with records broken, E-boats on the water, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So without further ado, let's take a look back at 2 years ago at the top 10 runs from the 2023 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. It's time to look back at the top 10 shootout runs from the 2023 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist. But first, a few honorable mentions. Team Yahoo, with owner and throttleman Curtis Morris and driver Jammin' Jones, topped their Saturday speed of 175 with an impressive run of 180 miles per hour. The Texas-based team sported a 36-foot Cat powered by twin 2,000-plus horsepower Boost Power U.S. engines. Father-son duo of Mike and Ryan Mawson hit Mawson's new personal best of 94 in his Sig Red 42X, sporting 3 565 horsepower Mercury Racing engines. The run was Mawson's personal best after hoping to hit 93. Carrie Six Killer hit 65 miles an hour in her 93 Baja 24-foot Outlaw, making it 17 straight years for Carrie running in the shootout. Yamaha Wave Runners took a clean sweep podium finish in PWC runs. James Myers was the top gun once again with 96, while Kristen Gagorzak hit 83 and Bobby Cordone took third with 79. Myers is looking to top 100 miles an hour in 2024. Now your top 10 runs. Number 10, this one's for Jim. Carolyn Doris, in her first shootout since the passing of her husband, Shootout Hall of Famer and Playcraft Boats owner and founder Jim Doris, ran an impressive 73 miles per hour in her Playcraft Tri-Tune. Doris, the first female driver ever in the history of the Lake of the Ozarks shootout, has now made all but one of the 35 Lake of the Ozarks shootouts. A monster run, number 9. Monster Energy's KC Van Kuren got into the driver's seat of IMCON's 2023 41-foot skater, Cat, owned by Tyler Miller, who was throttling right by her side. Van Kuren hit a sizzling 134 miles per hour in her first shootout, and now her and Monster loved it so much they became the title sponsor of the 2024 event. Number 8, a young force. Father and son duo of Corey and Joe Purig took the outboard Power Cats class in their 36-foot Doug Wright Performance Cat with their 134 mile per hour pass. It marked the second straight year they've won their class, and Corey's second year being the youngest driver in the shootout. Number 7, Freedom Jr. is in good hands. Rob Morgan runs Freedom Jr. an impressive 102 miles per hour, the 28-foot skater sporting twin 300s, and then a 93 and 92 mile an hour pass with his son RP and daughter Shelby. Morgan, who just got the boat back from Jim Lee, who is a former teammate of Rob's dad Bob, the event's Hall of Fame namesake and founder of Big Thunder Marine, Jim Lee told Rob it was time Freedom Jr. came home, and come home, it sure did. Number 6, does it get any tougher? Team Tough 34 with Thomas Weigel from Ontario made their much-anticipated return to the shootout in 2023 after a 3-year absence. With their new Tough 36, powered by a single Mercury Racing 1100 horsepower engine, Weigel ran 135 miles an hour, smashing the shootout record for the fastest single-engine V-bottom. A new world record, number 5. Sean Torrente and Vision Marine Technologies were hoping to break their own record for the fastest all-electric boat in the world at last year's shootout. After setting that record last year at 109 in their all-white Hellcat, Torrente rolled out their brand new S2 Powerboats 966 32-foot Cat and ran a mind-boggling 116 miles per hour, setting the new world record for the fastest all-electric speedboat. Number 4. A boat versus an airplane? A fan favorite of the annual shootout, Performance Powerboats 420 was unveiled at the Shootout Air Show in 23, driven by Myrick Coil and throttled by Rusty Williams versus a stunt airplane. The air show includes many stunts, including racing Performance Powerboats 420 down the shootout course, as well as a stunt where the stunt plane and boat nearly touch. Number 3, Factory Billet's mic drop moment. Team Factory Billet's Jim Schultz and Mike Focher were hoping to top their shootout best of 164 heading into 23 in their 51 Outer Limits V-bottom. They have their eyes set on 170 after hitting 164 on Saturday. They took the course Sunday morning and hit a sizzling 184 miles per hour, absolutely smashing the previous record for a V-bottom in the shootout. The winning duck, number 2. Slug Hefner, with his sights set on dethroning Don Onken and American Ethanol, rolled out his Dirty Duck Skater 438 powered by two 2,000-plus horsepower Brummett Marine engines. Hefner tabbed 2 of the industry's best in Myrick Coil and Rusty Williams to run the boat, and the 2 didn't disappoint. Dirty Duck hit 194 miles per hour, which was good for second overall on the weekend, and it made it the second time a boat has hit 190 miles plus per hour on the shortened course. Number 1. American Ethanol once again. Was there ever any doubt? After taking the last 8 consecutive Top Gun awards, Don Onken and American Ethanol rolled out a brand new setup in 2023. The 51-foot Mystic Cat was rigged with 4 total engines capable of producing over 10,000 total horsepower. With Mystic owner John Kosker and Tony Battiato in the boat once again, American Ethanol set a new 3/4 mile course record, hitting an impressive 214 miles per hour. It marked the 9th consecutive overall Top Gun, won by Don Onken and the American Ethanol, with their eyes set on number 10 in 2024. This has been your top 10 runs from the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout in 2023, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist. Nothing is more important for a boat than the dock it calls home. For the dock of your dreams that provides safety for your boat and comfort for you and your family, there's no choice better than Dockworks. With over 30 years of combined experience in dock construction and design, your Dockworks dock will be a custom fit to your needs and desires. New construction, additions, and repairs to buoys, swim stairs, and ramps, nobody knows how to build on this lake like Dockworks. Dockworks, because at the lake, your home doesn't stop at the shoreline.
Don't miss out on your favorite show. Watch Lake TV on demand on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV.
It's Speedboat Magazine. Check out speedboat.com and connect with us on social media. If you feel the need for speed, you need Speedboat Magazine. Your boat life is too short to run around on the wrong prop, and with 35 years of propeller repair at Lake of the Ozarks, Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist, is an authorized dealer and repair facility for all your major brands of recreational and high-performance propellers. With thousands of new props in stock and the most advanced in propeller repair and scanning, Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist, have been crowning champions and saving vacations at Lake of the Ozarks for 35 years.
Purchasing a boat is a pretty big investment, and when you purchase a rough water dock, you're protecting that investment for years to come. Rough Water Dock has been your trusted dock builder at the lake for over 30 years, specializing in custom docks that are built to withstand the rough waters of the Lake of the Ozarks. Rough Water is a full-service dock builder offering commercial construction, dock additions, swim docks. They're Amarin certified and fully insured. Rough Water Dock, the peace of mind you want and the protection you need.
During this chapter of life, we are really taking the time to enjoy the little things.
So it was important to have our final wishes pre-planned so our family wouldn't be burdened later on.
Hedges Scott Millard made it simple, but thorough. They provided us with different options right here in the comfort of our home.
We are so glad that we planned ahead. Now a whole lot more of this, a little of this, all with the peace of mind we wanted.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we believe that every day is a gift, and so is every life. Take time to enjoy it.
Mic drop moment after mic drop moment, and if 2023 wasn't enough, you'll remember last year there were some bigger speeds and some records broken. So now let's take a look back at the 2024 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout top 10 runs with Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialists. It's time to look back at the top 10 runs from the 2024 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist. But first, a few honorable mentions. Fan favorite Carry 6 Killer back at it once again.
Speed 69.69.
Carolyn Doris, the icon that never misses.
Speed 66.66.
Father and son duo Mike and Ryan Mawson hit Mawson's new personal best of 95 in his Cigarette 42X with triple 565 horsepower Mercury racing engines.
Speed 95.95.
Midnight Express owner Eric Glasser rips 97 miles per hour in this gorgeous gray and purple center console.
Speed 97.97.
Mauricio Franco Vivanco runs 147 miles an hour in this DCB M44 Cat.
Speed 147,147.
100-mile-per-hour tri-tune? Yeah, Mike Misplay hits triple digits at 100 miles per hour in this trifecta tri-tune.
Speed 100 miles an hour, 100.
And now your top 10 runs from the 2024 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist. Number 10, Travis Oliver likes to go fast. Travis Oliver and Rusty Williams hit 163 miles per hour in Oliver's MTI 48, sporting twin Mercury Racing 1550s.
Speed 163,163.
Number 9, Roland does it yet again. A fan favorite at the event each year, Brad Rowland and his South Bay Tri-Tune outdid themselves in 2024, hitting a mind-boggling 115 miles per hour. Yes, on a Tri-Tune.
Speed 115,115.
Number 8, Manny Center Console World Record. Manny Amaro set a new world record for the fastest center console at last year's event. With this flawless Avanti, Amaro hit a sizzling 128, making it the world's fastest center console to date.
Speed 128,128.
Number 7, Let Freedom Ring. Freedom One Racing made their much-anticipated debut at the event in 2024. With Clint Eastwood and John Wayne in the boat, Freedom One dropped 170 miles per hour in their debut pass. Although disqualified for not shutting power down at the finish, it's actually believed that Freedom One was flirting with speeds close to 200 miles per hour by the time the team topped out. Number 6, 100 miles per hour on a PWC? After winning multiple PWC Top Gun, James Myers was the first 100 mile per hour PWC in shootout history, hitting 101 miles per hour last year. The new record and first triple-digit PWC was short-lived as Joe Cardella ripped an impressive 104 miles per hour moments later, slightly raising the bar. Number 5, Team Valvoline, all the way from Norway. Per Teraldsen and Team Valvoline made the trip all the way from Norway with their 2018 Twister 24, powered by a single Mercury Racing 450R outboard. Teraldsen made headlines and hit 119 miles per hour, sporting that lone single outboard.
Speed 119,119.
Number 4, Team Yahoo flirts with 200. Team Yahoo with Jammin' Jones and Curtis Morris nearly hit 200 miles per hour in 24. Although disqualified in their first pass, Jones and Morris hit 196 miles per hour in the Team Yahoo 36 Skater Cat, sporting twin 2,000 horsepower Boost Power USA engines.
Speed 196,196.
Number 3, Factory Billet's mic drop moment. Team Factory Billets, Jim Schultz and Mike Vocher, were hoping to top their own shootout V-bottom record of 184, a record they set back in 2023. On Saturday, in their only pass of the weekend, the 51 Outer Limits V-bottom took the course first and hit an unreal speed of 186 miles per hour, breaking their own record by 2 miles for the fastest V-bottom in shootout history. Number 2, Dirty Duck joins the 200 mile per hour club. Slug Hefner, with his sights set on dethroning Don Onken and American Ethanol, returned in 2024 with his Dirty Duck Skater 438 powered by twin
2,000 horsepower Carson Brummett marine engines, Hefner tapped Myrick Coil and Rusty Williams to run the boat, and the two didn't disappoint. They laid down a speed of 202 miles per hour, good for second overall, and only the second boat ever to hit 200 plus miles per hour on the shortened course, the first non-Mystic to achieve that feat. Number 1. That's the 10th straight for American Ethanol. After securing the last 9 consecutive Top Guns at the event, Don Onken and American Ethanol outdid themselves once again last year. The 51-foot Mystic Cat was rigged with 4 total engines capable of producing in the ballpark of 12,000 total horsepower. With Mystic owner John Kosker and Tony Battiato in the boat once again, American Ethanol broke their own 3/4 mile course record of 2:14, which they set in 2023, last year, dropping a mind-boggling 221 miles per hour. It marked the 10th consecutive overall Top Gun won by Don Onken and American Ethanol, with their eyes set on number 11 this year. This has been your top 10 runs from the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialists.
Hopefully you enjoyed that as much as I did. What a year it was last season. Of course, American Ethanol hits 221, their 10th consecutive Top Gun. The last time they didn't win the Top Gun, of course, in 2014 when the Spirit of Qatar hit 244 with the Sheikh and Steve Curtis. And they're back, right? Durana Hybrid, owned by Daryl Cattell and IHRA, International Hot Rod Association. That's the huge storyline everyone's talking about. After that 244, is American Ethanol's run gonna end starting tomorrow or maybe even Sunday? Time will tell, but we did get our first look at those new colors. Unbelievable lime green there, courtesy of Speed on the Water. Not to mention, of course, factory billets in the outer limits. Can they top the 186 they dropped last year for the fastest V-bottom in the history of the shootout? Mike Misplay made his first appearance in the top 10 last year after hitting triple digits in the trifecta tri-tune. So we watching them. Hey, we'll also be watching the team of Freedom One in this skater. Yes, they're not here at the shootout to run their boat. Of course, you'll remember at Desert Storm, one of the most viral boat crashes. Ray and I talked about it. That was Speedboat Magazine's video you see right now. This crash, you might think that boat sank to the bottom of the ocean and was never retrieved. Well, not so fast. They got it and had it on hand Wednesday at the street party. You see some video there, just incredible. And the team at Freedom One Racing, Clint Eastwood and John Wayne, of course, hiding those identities, even though they're not running. Rumor in the industry is once they get their new skater, they're going to be set. They're going to be ready to top the record. Of course, we'll have to see what happens this year, but so much going on. Hey, you can't leave off Team Yahoo with Jammin' Jones and Curtis Morris last year. They flirted with that 200 mile per hour speed in their DQ'd run of 196. Of course, hometown favorite Imcon Racing. You'll have DWR Doug Wright Powerboats owner Justin Wagner running their brand new DWR 39. That'll be exciting. I hear Barracuda Powerboats is here. So look, there is going to be so much happening starting tomorrow morning with the shootout races. You don't want to miss it. And one in particular that has become a fan favorite is Dirty Duck with Slug Hefner. They joined the 200 mile per hour club last year, as you saw in the top 10 with that 202. Now, Myrick Coil, who is a huge name in the sport, he won't be back in the boat, and we had an opportunity to catch up with Hall of Famer Slug Hefner and their brand new driver, Adam Serafine.
The boat is a 438 skater. It's about 43 feet long. I think it's a little over 12 foot wide. It's got 2 Carson Brummett supercharged motors in them, turbocharged, I should say, and they make about 23 or 2,400 horsepower each motor. Well, I've known Don Onken for a long time and always liked him. And his crew chief, Earl Mormon, Earl and I have raced together for 30 some odd years. I got the opportunity to drive the boat for Don, and we ran 217 I think it was the 2015 shootout, and that was pretty exciting. So when this opportunity to put this boat together came up, and we got to putting it together, of course, it's not about trying to beat Don Auckland, but he does raise the bar up, and it gives us a pretty good challenge. So when the boat broke 200, it was pretty exciting.
Well, the opportunity arose when Slug bought the boat and reached out to Myrick about running it. And then I've been racing with Myrick since 2019, so definitely wanted to jump behind the throttles and go with them. So we started out testing a little bit, 3 years ago, and it's been great ever since. We just been a couple challenges, but we've got it up and running every season and done great, better and better every year. So we definitely knew the boat was capable of it because we obviously added some duck juice to get it off the start line. But we didn't know for sure what number it was going to throw up, and it was very, very exciting. Breaking the 200-mile club in the shootout was pretty awesome.
It started out with just boating conversations out on some of the MTI Center Councils at the MTI Fun Run in March, and I jokingly told Rusty, I want to get behind the wheel of that thing. Then the conversations progressed, and we had dinner at a friend's house just a couple weeks ago, and we were both comfortable at the time with moving forward. So then it just became logistics and how do we make it happen? And I told Rusty, I said, I just want you to get me comfortable in the boat. And he laughed at me and said, you're never going to be comfortable at the speeds you're going to be running, but we'll get you prepped for it. And I'm pretty calm. I feel like I'm almost too calm at this point in time. I think it'll hit me once we're coming through that box to hit the course. But we've spent a lot of time in boats together, so none of this is new. None of it is outside of my comfort level. So it's been a great experience.
Everybody will be calm and cool and collected until you purge that duck juice and you put that helmet on. Then you're going to be shaking. Even I'll be nervous, but that's when it comes for real. So
they've made some changes, Carson has, and we feel like the geometry of the boat is pretty good. But we're sworn to secrecy, and it's top secret. We can't tell you exactly what he did. Now, nobody, like last year when we put the duck juice on there, nobody took credit for it until we made sure it worked. Then everybody said, that's my idea.
Definitely break 202. I think 205 is capable.
I'm on board with Rusty. It's, no matter what you do in life, you want to beat what you did before. You always want to progress, you always want to move forward, and I would be a very happy individual at a 205 number.
I'm hesitant to say that last year, I don't think we were making full power going through the big end. If we've got that corrected, and on paper, I think we do, so I'm going to say a 207, 208. Right. No pressure, guys.
It's been awesome. I mean, racing is crazy. I mean, you can go to these venues and you spend, weeks and months to prepare and hours, and then you get in there for a 30-minute race, but it's such an adrenaline rush that it's 100% worth it. Growing up as a little kid, I always wanted to race boats. Like, even the teachers, when you fill out the little thing, like, what do you want to do for a living? I go, race boats. And it's like, and no one really believed it, but here we are, racing boats. I mean, definitely does not pay the bills. That's 100%, so kids stay in school. But,
I can attest to that.
Yeah, it does not pay the bills, but it is one heck of a hobby, that's for sure.
I'm very honored and proud to have Rusty in the boat, and now with Adam. And they're qualified to run the boat. They look after details. They make my life a lot easier, which for that I appreciate.
Slug and the Dirty Duck team and Rusty and the Performance Boat Center team, the reason I'm here is the relationships that we've established over the years of doing this sport or hobby or whatever you want to call it. But it's somehow become my life, and I love it. This is exactly where I want to be on a day where I should be working, sitting right here talking to you guys. So this is, it's all I can ask for. Very grateful and very excited.
Let's be honest, nobody enjoys moving, at least not until everything is pretty much over. Wouldn't it be nice to get to that new house honeymoon phase as quickly and stress-free as possible? At All Around Movers, it's a little like fast-forwarding to the good part. We take care of the heavy lifting, packing, assembly, we've got it covered. All around. With All Around Movers, you don't need to worry about the process, just trust it. We handle it all the way, all the time. All Around Movers.
Don't forget to tune in to this month's edition of the Monthly Market Update. I'm Jessica Bruce with the Bruce & Kelly Real Estate Team, where we'll be touring this month this gorgeous home located right on the waterfront here in Sunrise Beach. We're also going to meet up with Stacy Pirtle, one of the members of Community Foundation here at the lake, talk about what they do and some upcoming awesome events they have. And we are going to meet the newest owner of Doug Wright Powerboats, Justin Wagner, and we may even get to go out on a new 40-foot cat. All that and more on this month's edition.
It's Speedboat Magazine. Check out speedboat.com and connect with us on social media. If you feel the need for speed, you need Speedboat Magazine.
Let's be honest, nobody enjoys moving. At least not until everything is pretty much over. Wouldn't it be nice to get to that new house honeymoon phase as quickly and stress-free as possible? At All Around Movers, it's a little like fast-forwarding to the good part. We take care of the heavy lifting, packing, assembly, we've got it covered. All around. With All Around Movers, you don't need to worry about the process, just trust it. We handle it all the way, all the time. All Around Movers.
What's up, Lake of the Ozarks? William Holtz inviting you to tune in to our next LOZ featured doc series. We're at Portachima Cove to show you Dean Luke and family's incredible lake lifestyle. They got boats, they've got accessory, they've got plants, and a whole lot more. Don't miss our next LOZ featured doc series.
Your boat life is too short to run around on the wrong prop, and with 35 years of propeller repair at Lake of the Ozarks, Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist, is an authorized dealer and repair facility for all your major brands of recreational and high-performance propellers. With thousands of new props in stock and the most advanced in propeller repair and scanning, Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist, have been crowning champions and saving vacations at Lake of the Ozarks for 35 years.
And of course, Dirty Duck plays with American Ethanol. They have fun. Of course, Slug was in that boat in 2016, and that's why he's got that 217 decal. You'll remember on last year's pre-race show, we interviewed Carson Brummett and Slug Hefner, and Slug actually gave us here at Lake TV one of those 217 signs, and he even signed it for us. That was super cool. And Dirty Duck is a name that just in the last couple of years has become a fan favorite as well. And when you say fan favorite, of course, American Ethanol. We were down at the street party on Wednesday, and everybody wanted to talk with Don Onken. We saw John Kosker with the Mystic Powerboats, and of course, Tony Battiato, who spends most of his time in the shop. We actually, for the first time on Lake TV, got a chance to catch up with Tony in the shop earlier this week. Tony Battiato, mechanic, driver, American Ethanol, the man, the myth, the legend. Tony, headed into this weekend, Lake of the Ozarks shootout, buddy. How's the boat looking?
Looks good.
Feels good?
Yep, it's getting there.
All right, a lot of the fans say, man, we know American Ethanol, 10 straight top guns, but they want to know, you're going to see you guys a few times this weekend. Tell us the rundown headed into this weekend shootout.
The first pass through there will be test pass, and then we'll bring it back, check it out, you know, make a couple runs and see what happens.
It's awesome. So for you, last year, top speed, 221, fastest you've been top gun. What are the realistic expectations this weekend?
Hopefully faster than 221. So I'm sure it will.
All right, Tony Battiato, man of few words, but everyone knows your name, knows the American Ethanol legacy here at Lake of the Ozarks shootout. So for those that don't get to hear from you, tell us what it's been like the last, I think, 7 years, 8 years. How many years now?
I think
7. This is 8 consecutive.
Yeah.
So this last stretch of years, talk about what this experience has been like working with Don Onken, the American Ethanol team, and being the fastest shootout boat.
Very fortunate, and I appreciate all the Onkens. I work on the boat year round pretty much, and I work on a few little boats for my little business, and it's been a dream come true. So I'm fortunate enough to get to use his shop, and it's heat in the winter and heat in the summertime, but yeah, other than that, I have fun and enjoy, every day.
You mentioned fun, Tony, and what everyone sees as shootout weekend is the fun, the 200+ mile per hour pass. But what they don't see is this crazy week and really year round leading in. So what's it like for you as far as it's not just put the boat in the water and it's ready? There's some work.
Oh yeah, it's engines out every year. We re-rigged this side. Now it has QC4Vs in it, so we're not running mix match sides now.
So new package this year, it's going to be all four?
We were running the QC4Vs on John's side for, I think, two shootouts, because we wanted to test them and all that. And so now it has 4 of the same QC4Vs with the Pro Chargers on them.
Oh, so that means this is what you guys have been talking about the last couple of years, and it's come to fruition for 2025. So this is kind of a dream scenario. And you were mentioning, Don Honkin says, we got to make up for the last couple of years. You didn't go as many times, so we're expecting to see a few passes, right?
Yes, for sure.
All right, last question I'll ask you, Tony Battiato, man of few words. Talk about what it's like to get to work with Mystic owner John Kosker in the boat.
It's awesome. We drive well in the boat. It works. So, it works out good.
Really cool. And Tony feels really good after we talked. I've talked to him since then, and the boat's ready. They're excited. And hey, Don Honkin says, listen, the last couple of years with the shootout, we've only got 2 runs 2 years ago, 1 run last year. And unfortunately, they felt like the fans may have been cheated. So Don says, I wanted the fans to know we are going to run the boat this weekend, so get ready. American Ethanol is rolling out all the stops, and you should see that boat plenty of times up and down the brand new shootout course. And at this point in time, I think it's only fitting that we take a look back at the last 10 years of dominance with American Ethanol. Heading into this year's shootout, the biggest storyline, without a doubt, has to be Don Honkin's American Ethanol.
Year after year, right? This guy's amazing.
No doubt about it. 10 consecutive Top Guns for his 2013 51-foot Mystic Cat. Of course, you're looking back with Tony Battiato driving Mystic owner John Kosker on sticks. And of course, you can't forget Earl Moorman, the crew chief, who does an amazing job. Dave, JD, Amy, Ben, and this boat, the last 9 years, has had 2 different packages. Year after year, they changing things, trying to perfect it. And last year, they set a 3/4 quarter-mile course record with 221 miles per hour. 2014 was the last time someone else took home the event's Top Gun. Of course, that was Spirit of Qatar. 2015, 208 miles per hour. 2016, 217 miles per hour with Slug Hefner in the boat. 2016, 217 miles per hour. Now in 2017, they shortened the course from a full mile to 3/4 of a mile. 2018, 204 once again. 2019, their 5th consecutive Top Gun. They slowed down a couple miles at 201, and then in 2020, 202 miles per hour for their 6th consecutive Top Gun. And then 2021 was not their best run in the 10 years, 190 mile per hour pass. Still good for best on the weekend. After 22, Don Honkin went back to the drawing board and said it's time to stop messing around. In 2022, showed up back to the 200 mile per hour plus club with a blistering 207 miles per hour. Something had kind of flown off the back of the boat, a belt or something had flown off. And so we talked with Don Honkin after the 22 shootout, and he said, listen, we left something out there with this setup. We didn't have it perfected. Next year, we're going to do better. And do better, they did. 2023, they added 7 miles per hour, 214 miles per hour. But in 2024, probably the most impressive year yet, Don Honkin rolled into town with his Mystic, and I'm telling you what, it had 2 different setups, 4 total engines, 2 with superchargers, 2 with Pro Chargers. about 11,000 total horsepower. That boat was capable of running, and run did it. Tony Battiato, John Kosker, good for 221 miles per hour. And of course, this year, people are looking. The Spirit of Qatar boat and Steve Curtis are back. New name, new owner. Will they be able to be the Top Gun and end Don Honkin's impressive run with American Ethanol Mystic Racing at Lake of the Ozarks Shootout? We've been in the shop with Tony Battiato. They've got this thing dialed in for the first time. 4 engines, the same setup, all with Pro Chargers. It's gonna be unbelievable, and everybody can talk. Everybody can say that they're capable of putting up a bigger speed. But for the last 10 years, one name has remained supreme at Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. Headed into this weekend, if you're a betting man, I wouldn't put your money anywhere else other than Don Honkin and American Ethanol.
Speed 117,117.
Speed 97.97.
Man, some great runs there as well. So we get to relive American Ethanol and what they've done. And people are talking, hey, that 10-year stretch may not become 11. They're looking for Durana Hybrid to potentially upset as Spirit of Qatar makes their return. I did want to give a shout out to the exclusive real estate agent of Lake TV, Jessica Bruce with Bruce and Kelly Real Estate Team for partnering with us on our pre-race show. Just a reminder that 10% of all sales from our pre-race show are going directly to Cannonball Run charities. So we thank Jess and our sponsors. Now, this point in the show, getting ready for tomorrow's races. Something that makes Lake of the Ozarks Shootout unique is the Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Fame. One of the most coveted names in shootout history, Bob Morgan. And when you talk about the list of names that's in his Hall of Fame, it is impressive. And before we tell you about the 2025 Hall of Fame class, let's take a look back at last year's 2024 Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Fame induction class.
I actually got involved in the original shootout when it was held down at Shooters 21 in the first ones. At the time, I was chief of the Lake Ozark Fire District. The original scope of the shootout was the funds that they derived was going specifically to augment the water rescue capabilities of the Lake area fire departments. So obviously at Lake Ozark Fire Department, we had fire boats and we helped participate in it. I did that up until I left the Lake Ozark Fire Department, and then I got back involved when it moved here to Captain Ron's, and I've been here ever since.
My name is Ed Grimm. I'm head of tech inspections with the shootout. Been doing it for about 15 years and competed as well in the shootout. Many years ago when I first moved here, I attended in my bass boat and watched things. I was hooked. Then the next year or so later, I started helping Charlie Schaefer, another Hall of Famer, with his boat, and just went from there.
At that time, I was the Missouri Elk State Drug Awareness Chairman, looking for money to bring in some speakers to speak to the kids at school. So I asked if I could be a parker. So from then on, for 12 years, I've done that. I was on a board member of the shootout for 9 years. And we loved every minute of it.
Helmets are a big thing. The most important thing, as evidenced a couple years ago with the pontoon, was the kill switches. And we absolutely, everybody has to fire their engines and make sure the kill switches are operable. If not, they do not go on course.
The boat had one of its hatches up. So we thought, well, maybe we put water in, we could flood the motors. And what happened, well, I like to say it was through expertise and training and all that. It was actually dumb luck, but like the second pass, we were able to hit the throttle with our water cannon and knocked it back into neutral and just drove right up and it was over.
We worked very hard. We believe in the shootout so much, and to be honored as being part of the Hall of Fame, I've never been that humble before. Everything is surreal. You don't, when you're doing jobs, it's a job. And then when somebody says, hey, you did a good job, you feel good. And right now, I feel good.
Oh, it's quite an honor. When you look at the people that are in the Hall of Fame, to join that very exclusive group is a huge honor.
I'm Ed Grimm.
I am Frank Scarpino.
Hi, I'm Scott Franson. I am proud to say that I'm a 2024 recipient of the Shootout Hall of Fame.
Just a stellar class in 2024, and this year's class was actually announced in June at Insurance Offshore. And before we tell you about this year's Hall of Fame class, we ought to talk about Insurance Offshore, an incredible event as far as the point standings go, a brand new promotion in the sport. Professional Racing Offshore, it was their first big event at Lake of the Ozarks, and we're going to take a look back at the sights and sounds from Insurance Offshore. Of course, an amazing class last year, and at this year's shootout, Insurance Offshore, they announced a new class, which was Greg Olson, who we didn't get an opportunity to meet up with. So congratulations to Greg and all he's accomplished. Very deserving. But outside of Greg Olson, we had Slug Hefner with Dirty Duck, Ray Lee with Speedboat Magazine, and Justin Wagner with DWR, Doug Wright Powerboats and Waves and Wheels. And on the other side of this break, we're going to sit down and we're going to hear from Dirty Duck Slug Hefner on what this honor means to him.
Purchasing a boat is a pretty big investment, and when you purchase a rough water dock, you're protecting that investment for years to come. Rough Water Dock has been your trusted dock builder at the lake for over 30 years, specializing in custom docks that are built to withstand the rough waters of the Lake of the Ozarks. Rough Water is a full-service dock builder offering commercial construction, dock additions, swim docks. They're Amen certified and fully insured. Rough Water Dock, the peace of mind you want and the protection you need.
Nothing is more important for a boat than the dock it calls home. For the dock of your dreams that provides safety for your boat and comfort for you and your family, there's no choice better than DockWorks. With over 30 years of combined experience in dock construction and design, your DockWorks dock will be a custom fit to your needs and desires. New construction, additions, and repairs to buoys, swim stairs, and ramps, nobody knows how to build on this lake like DockWorks. DockWorks, because at the lake, your home doesn't stop at the shoreline.
How did I first get involved with Lake of the Ozarks Shootout? I met Randy Sissom and his father-in-law, Clark Gruniger, and they kind of introduced me to the shootout, and so I started to come over to the shootout. Well, it was a kind of a growth thing, and at the time, the biggest boat that I'd ever owned was a 24-foot Obsession, which I bought from Clark Gruniger. And that was a little small to mess with the shootout, and I didn't really realize what all the shootout entailed. But the more I got involved with it, the more I saw it, the more I wanted to do it. So I graduated to a bigger boat that would run in the shootout and had a lot of fun doing it. Oh gee, I guess my favorite memory was when I drove the American ethanol boat and ran 217 miles an hour. That was pretty exciting, and I had a good opportunity to get in the boat. Don Auckland was very friendly, and I enjoyed his company, and I think that's my favorite memory. I think the reason the shootout is such a big event and so well received is it's well organized. It's got a reputation for integrity as far as their speed radar guns and the speed traps and that kind of thing. It's the hot rod mecca of the world, and there's boats from all over the world that come to the thing. It's amazing to me that they can have such a monumental event for as long as they have, and it's primarily made up of volunteers, wonderful people that donate their time and make sure that everything is right. So, and I think it's just contagious. I wanted to see a duck logo hit break 200. So when the boat ran 202, it was pretty exciting. It was thrilling and a little bit overwhelming, really. Pretty emotional. Oh, wow, the honor of being inducted into the Shootout Hall of Fame. I guess it's just the fact that I'm getting kind of recognized by peers and people that I respect and people that I've got to know through boating and hot rod boating and stuff like that. And it's just overwhelming. It's a great honor. Leah Martin and I forget who the other gentleman was, but they called one day and we're talking about something and said, well, the reason we call is because we want to let you know you're being abducted into the Hall of Fame. And so I guess I was probably dumbfounded and I said, okay. Oh, I think I need to recognize a lot of people, but I'm going to forget somebody. But I'd kind of start with Earl Mormon, who's a crew chief for American Ethanol. But Earl and I have raced together for 30 years, and from drag boats to offshore boats to shootout boats, and things like that. And he's kept me in one piece all these years by making sure everything was correct. I'm very fond of Don Onklin. He's funny. He let me drive his boat, which I appreciate that. I like Ray Lee because he makes me look taller. I've got a great relationship with John Kosker with Mystic. Randy Sissom got me into my first offshore boat, and Pete, a skater, is always friendly, and just on and on and on. I'm Slug Hefner, 2025 Shootout Hall of Famer.
Big shout out to Gwen and Slug Hefner, of course, Rusty and Adam for giving us some time earlier in the show. Really, really cool. And when you get named to the Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Fame, at this point, I feel like it's the most coveted, the most prestigious award you can have in offshore. And so huge congrats to Slug Hefner. And another one you heard from earlier in the show, Speedboat Magazine's Ray Lee. When I look at the Shootout Hall of Fame, I see media members in it. So it's only fitting that the greatest of great media members with the Shootout Hall of Fame, Ray Lee, got inducted this year.
Hi, I'm Ray Lee, publisher of Speedboat Magazine from Southern California, and we produce 9 issues of Speedboat Magazine a year, direct to your mailbox. I first got involved with Lake of the Ozarks back in 2011 when I was a test team member for Performance Boats Magazine, and we came here as a group trip, and first experienced all of it and was blown away and fell in love with it, and haven't missed a year since. So my favorite memory of the shootout was probably we were up on the bluff covering the shootout, and when Spirit of Qatar ran their unbelievable run of 244 miles an hour. We were up there on the bluff with the entire team of Spirit of Qatar, and I still have the video where they ran past, and we saw it on the radar, and they exploded. We exploded, the whole bluff exploded, and of course that record still stands today. What sets the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout event apart from any other event throughout the year is just the sheer magnitude of everybody that comes here. All the OEMs come, a lot of the race teams come, a lot of the big players in the high performance world are here this week, and it's, you know, I liken it to the Super Bowl of high performance boating. What makes this area so special and unique to high performance boating is, I don't know, I ask you know, my podcast partner Myrick Coil all the time, there must be something in the water, right? Because I mean, everybody that comes out of here is a champion world-class offshore racer or can run the piss out of a boat, and it's just amazing all the stuff that comes out of here. And for someplace that's in the Midwest to be the powerboat mecca of the world, pretty awesome. This honor means the world to me. I mean, it's still amazing. I'm humbled, honored, and I can't believe that I'm here in the same conversation as some of the legends that I looked up to, you know, reading about them in Hot Boat Magazine and Powerboat Magazine, and then to be covering them throughout my career, and then to be listed in the same conversation as them it's mind-blowing. I found out that I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, earlier this year at the Desert Storm event in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, where my test team drivers, Bob Teague and Myrick Coil, also Hall of Famers, and Leah Martin were all there at the street party. And they pulled me aside and said they needed to speak to me about something. So I said, okay, and I'm like wondering what it was. And so Myrick kind of took the reins, and he goes, bro, as a new, you know, board of directors member, and Leah here is, you know, executive director, and Bob is a Hall of Fame member. It's like, oh, we just want to welcome you to the Hall of Fame club. I'm like, jaw hit the floor. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Emotions ran straight through my body. I had to turn around and walk away to compose myself, and I still get goosebumps just thinking about it. It's very cool. The thing that'll stand out most about this event is just the people that have been involved in it, the generosity of the charities, of all the giving that all the powerboaters do, that the community does. Everybody comes together, and it's such a welcoming community. The people here are some of the greatest people I've ever met, and so it's awesome to come back here year after year, and I don't think that's going to change 50 years, 100 years, 200 years from now. First, I'd like to thank my team, because my team that we've put together at Speedboat Magazine, they're the best. I couldn't be here in front of you guys without them. They make me look good, they make the magazine look good, and without them, there's no way that we could have done this. My partner, Chris Davidson, who saw potential in me even before I did. I didn't even know that I was capable of doing this job, but he tapped me to run alongside him as co-publisher and partner of Speedboat Magazine with him. So Chris, thank you. My beautiful fiance, Julie Stepnick, she's the driving force behind everything that I do. So supportive of everything that I do. She has to put up with all the late night phone calls and the late night, work that I have to do, the early morning texts and emails and video editing that we do. But it takes a village, and I love my village. It's super humbling. I can't get used to the terminology that I'm a Hall of Famer. I love it, of course. It's a huge honor, and I'm supremely humbled by it, and I'm just thankful. I'm Ray Lee, a 2025 Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Famer.
Super cool, and you can just tell what this means to these Hall of Fame inductees. Ray Lee, no different. He's been doing it his whole life. He's been around it, but to get inducted into this Hall of Fame, really neat to see just how special that was for him, and an honor to meet his fiancee, Julie, while they've been in town. So thank you, Ray. And last but not least, one of our original locals down here at Lake of the Ozarks. You know him from Waves and Wheels, and news broke recently that Justin Wagner had actually purchased Doug Wright power boats, and it's now DWR Doug Wright power boats. We've been on the DWR 39. It's just incredible, but we got an opportunity to sit down with Justin about what the shootout and this honor means to him.
I'm Justin Wagner with Waves and Wheels and DWR Doug Wright Power Boats. I'm a custom boat builder and by trade, and this is my home. I love it here and plan to spend many more years and build many more cool boats. The first year that I got involved with the shootout, I was actually detailing boats for Glen Cove and doing stereos on the side, and I built them a really crazy sound system in a 382. We brought it over to the stereo shootout and cleaned some house, and so that was my first go round. I believe the summer later, or it might have been 2 summers after, I actually got my first little 26-foot cat and actually took it over to the shootout and had some really cool memories there too. I think it was that first or second year, and Bob Teague was there. I didn't really know who he was. He had another racer with him, and Glenn, if I'm saying his last name right, Waldry, he had the world's fastest boat. So those guys all signed my helmet, and I was just a fan at that time. There was also a guy that's pretty well known in the industry at the time, and he walked me through a power boat, and I just was like in total love with the catamaran at that time. Big catamaran fan immediately. Another good memory was our boat, Iron Man. Me and my wife actually ran the shootout together, so that was super fun. So we got to run. She sat beside me and we did the run together, and we took home some trophies, so that was pretty fun. Street Party is definitely up there. It's my favorite, probably overall event. Last year was pretty surreal, seeing all the Doug Wrights that we had built all in one place. And then the last one is really tough for me is the Wish on a Ride. I can't go to it while they're doing it, but I'm always there. Tiffany will call me if there's a family that can't make it, or maybe there's a special circumstance. I'm better in that situation to serve my purpose. So I do it then, and it's a seriously cool thing. Where in the world are you gonna find this event? And don't get me wrong, to all my boating friends and other boating lakes and boating areas, I love you. I go to all their places, but never ever have I never got done with the trip and went, I'm not ready to go home. I love coming home. I love it here. It's a great place. I'm very flattered, it's super cool that people are out there that notice what we've done as a team and my team, and I have to credit them because there's no way I've able to accomplish this without them. It's pretty surreal. It's awesome. Again, I showed up in 2001 as a fan, and to know that I've done about everything there is to do with the shootout. I've ran the boat several times. I've done the stereo shootout, we've done the street party, we've done Wish on a Ride. We've been part of every event, and it's really cool to be considered for this award, and I'm very appreciative of it. Tiffany and Leah and Mark Mawson, of course, caught me way off guard at the Havasu street party. I don't hide my emotions very well, and it caught me off guard, and I was extremely excited. I think I hugged them about 800 times. And believe it or not, about an hour before that, I got a call that the past owners, which I'm friends with, of DWR, Doug Wright Powerboats, agreed to pass the torch on to me. So I had my lifelong dream of being a true custom boat builder, and then an hour later, I got announced, or was told that I was getting announced in the Hall of Fame. So it was like mind-blowing day, and I'm thinking, man, maybe this is my last day here, because this is like too good to be true. Yeah, first and foremost, my wife, Cicely. She's my support system and my best friend, and she's amazing. And smoking hot, like I've always say. So, going way back from the Glen Cove guys that helped me got started, the Locktons, Rusty Rom, Randy Sism gave me great opportunities. I've worked with Pete over at Skater. Bob Teague has been amazing to me. Huge thank you to Jason Jansen, Ray Lee. I could literally go on for a half hour without skipping a beat of people I'd like to thank. I'm Justin Wagner, 2025 Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Famer. Thank you, guys.
Pretty awesome, and it's only fitting. Again, it's the Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Fame. And just a couple of years, Bob's son, Rob Morgan, was inducted into his dad's namesake event. And so we're going to turn back the clock a couple of years and check out the year that Rob Morgan was inducted into the Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Fame.
So 1987, Dad and Sue started Big Thunder Marine, and Fran Steingroovy and his son had a little service station at the lake, and they built Shooters 21, and Dad and Fran used to race drag boats together. So they decided they wanted to try to have a drag boat race with these big offshore boats. And they couldn't get that done, but they found out how to have a radar run. And so that's kind of how it started. We came up there, we brought anything, used trade-ins we had from South Florida or Grand Lake. We'd make a couple of passes. Dad won the Top Gun Award. I think he went just a little bit over 100 back then, and that's kind of how it progressed. All of our customers that came from all over the country loved Lake of the Ozarks, loved running as fast as they could run for a mile. And I ran some of the marinas boats, then I had my own 28 skater. I got to run that, went over 100 a couple of times, and it kind of exploded just like Big Thunder and the rest of the lake did. Really cool. I definitely have a favorite memory. There's a ton of them back there, and this last week or so I've been thinking about all of them and running up and back to the shootout. Water Patrol wouldn't mess with you. That was as fun as running in the shootout. Yeah, no question, the best memory I ever have is when Dad and I got to race against each other in the side-by-side races. Dad and JT were in the 46-footer with quads. Ernie Dampier and I were in the 43 with twins. And the first cut was going to be 2 out of 3. So the first couple of passes, we said, we're just going to kind of take it easy, see how it goes. And then the third one, we're going to put it on the wood. So I think he won the first one, I won the second one. And then that third one, it was racer to there was no father-son stuff, man. It was racer to racer. I think Ernie and I might have left a little bit early, but we just barely nosed him out at the finish line. He was kind of pissed about that, but it was to race those two big boats side by side, the fans loved it. It was great competition, and I'll never forget that my whole life. Matter of fact, some guy that didn't know Dad very well came up after the race and said, "Hey, do you think your dad let you win that last race?" I went, "Oh yeah, I'm sure he did." I'm like, dude, that guy doesn't know Dad at all. It was on the wood, man. So, but by far my best memory of the lake. So there's no question Lake of the Ozarks is set up for this kind of really unparalleled event. I mean, anywhere in the world. I've been lucky enough to race in Key West and Miami with Dad and Jim Lee. Boated my whole life, and I've never been at one place ever that you could have this kind of power and equipment show up. The people are incredible, and all the fans really have a front row seat to an offshore race that even in Key West or any of them, you get to see the boats when they kind of go by once in a while. And the thing that especially makes it so unbelievable is all the stuff that Ron and Mark Mawson and their crews have done, not only for the racers, guys that maybe can't race offshore, but the charities that they've donated to and made it so special. I can't imagine 10, 20, 30 years ago it would ever turn into anything like this. It's got to be the premier boating event, maybe in the world for this type of thing. It's absolutely incredible. This honor means so much to me, one, because it's named for my dad, and two, I know I'm not deserving of it because so many other people have done so much more than I have, but back in the years when we started it, it was so special. We started with Fran Steingroovy. We got to run about anything we took up there, but more than anything, it's just with my dad's name on it, and I'm just glad to be part of Lake of the Ozarks tradition. Yeah, so I was standing down at our lake cabin and Full Circle Boathouse, and Mark Mawson calls me and said, "Are you sitting down?" And the last time Mark called me and told me that, he was calling me from Key West when Dad and JT crashed. And I was like, "I don't know, man. I guess I'm doing okay. What's up?" And he said, "Hey, you're in the Shootout Hall of Fame." I'm like, Jesus. Okay, great. I think that's awesome. And I said, but I thought he was totally kidding. I said, I haven't done anything for 10 years, and before that, after the first 4 or 5 years, I hadn't done anything compared to all these other people. And he said, "Robbie, it's your dad's 10-year anniversary. You've come back, you've moved back to the lake, you've got a skater, you want to be involved in some cool stuff again. It's just meant to be." And I said, once you say that, what do you say? And I told him, the only reason I'm taking it is because they started a Bob Morgan scholarship fund for local high school kids. And I just wanted to be able to say a few things about that. So the Lake of the Ozarks Marine Dealers Association picks 1 or 2 kids every year, and it's a tiered scholarship. I think they get $3,000 or $4,000. Mike Carnegie of the Lake Marine Dealers kind of runs it. But if they graduate from high school, from college, they get a little bit of money. If they're in the marine industry, they get a little bit more. And then if they come back to work for Lake of the Ozarks boat dealer, they get the rest of the scholarship. So that's really my main reason for accepting it. I'm not as deserving as probably anybody that's ever been inducted, but I certainly appreciate and I know my dad would appreciate it too. So, I'd really just like to thank Mark Mawson and Ron for all the work they've done. And if I gave a shout out to anybody, it would be for all the volunteers that really do all the hard work to make all the fast guys look good. They're really the heart and soul of the whole thing. I'm Rob Morgan, 2021 Bob Morgan Shootout Hall of Famer.
All right, again, just really what the Morgan family means. Bob Morgan to this event can't be stressed enough. And another individual who's big for this event, Doc Jansen. We caught up with him Wednesday at the street party. By the way, Doc, you're looking great, man. If you guys don't know Doc Jansen, he's a wild man. He's training for like 30 Tough Mudders, probably a 700K, and he's about to swim from the Atlantic to the Pacific in record time. That's Doc Jansen, a great guy, and everyone knows him in the world of offshore. You know he's been a longtime power boater, and if you know his outer limits, watch your back. It's one of the most famous boats in offshore, and I actually got the opportunity last year to drive it myself.
I hate to ask, but what are the chances you take my camera guy out for a little spin?
You mean you want to go like on an inner tube behind, or you want to go in the boat?
I want to go in the boat.
No problem. Why don't we lower the hatch? We'll get in the boat. We'll take it for a ride. And if you feel comfortable, we'll let you drive it.
Let's do it, baby.
All right, let's go. You're doing great. What do you think? I got over 100, baby. I know. Did you like it? Yeah.
Don't forget to tune in to this month's edition of the Monthly Market Update. I'm Jessica Bruce with the Bruce & Kelly Real Estate Team, where we'll be touring this month this gorgeous home located right on the waterfront here in Sunrise Beach. We're also going to meet up with Stacy Pirtle, one of the members of Community Foundation here at the lake, talk about what they do and some upcoming awesome events they have. And we are going to meet the newest owner of Doug Wright Powerboats, Justin Wagner, and we may even get to go out on a new 40-foot cat. All that and more on this month's edition.
Life truly is all about memories, but more importantly, those we create those memories with. And at Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, our staff focuses on the families we serve.
They were fantastic. It just took a lot of weight off of our shoulders. They are incredibly thoughtful and genuine. They are just there to support you and your family.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we believe that every day is a gift, and so is every life. Take time to enjoy it.
Nothing is more important for a boat than the dock it calls home. For the dock of your dreams that provides safety for your boat and comfort for you and your family, there's no choice better than DockWorks. With over 30 years of combined experience in dock construction and design, your DockWorks dock will be a custom fit to your needs and desires. New construction, additions, and repairs to buoys, swim stairs, and ramps, nobody knows how to build on this lake like DockWorks. DockWorks, because at the lake, your home doesn't stop at the shoreline.
Hard to believe, but it's time for the shootout.
And for the first time since 2015, it's not on Lake TV, but we do have a pre-race show live Friday night.
Yeah, and the Cannonball Run is off and running.
Plus, Ike Skelton's hearing continued.
Yeah, and what is up with that brain-eating infection?
We talked with the Camden County Health Department. We'll tell you all about it, that and more, on this week's Cup of Coffee. Your boat life is too short to run around on the wrong prop, and with 35 years of propeller repair at Lake of the Ozarks, Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist, is an authorized dealer and repair facility for all your major brands of recreational and high-performance propellers. With thousands of new props in stock and the most advanced in propeller repair and scanning, Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist, have been crowning champions and saving vacations at Lake of the Ozarks for 35 years. Again, shout out to Doc. Later in our pre-race show, we're going to show you the Outer Limit's not the only boat in his arsenal. We'll show you off his entire fleet of boats here later in the show. But since we're talking about outer limits, let's talk real quick about factory billet. Again, 184 in 23, 186 last year. Can Jim Schultz and Mike Focher top that speed, as they've already got the top 2 fastest speeds for V-bottom in shootout history? But speaking of V-bottoms, it makes me miss the Parvey boys and Black Thunder. Of course, Jason and Dennis Parvey. They ran 166 back in 2023. And you remember, that boat was rocking. It was pretty incredible. And you talk about father-son duo. Well, look, 2 of the last 3 years, the fastest outboard cat has been, the 2 outboard cat for the class has been Joe Perog, right? He ran 131 and then 133 the last couple of years in an impressive feat. And if you recognize that Perog name, right, that's got to be Joe Perog, right? You're absolutely right. It is Joe Perog, one of the most accomplished names in offshore. And at this point in the pre-race show, we're going to pay tribute to some of the biggest names in offshore racing, especially down here at Lake of the Ozarks. So without further ado, I'm excited to introduce you to icons of offshore, Joe Perog. What's up, Lake of the Ozarks? William Holtz with Lake TV. And on this edition of Icons of Offshore, we're right inside Performance Cove to meet up with Joe Perog and tell you one of the neatest stories that's got a lot of history. And when you talk about Corey, his son, I believe, is just getting started. All right, now here with Joe Perog, and I'm telling you what, you talk about names in offshore. Joe, you have been around from being a boat enthusiast to racing in offshore to even kind of being involved in building some boats. So kind of just tell us where this all started with your love for high-speed boating.
When I was 8 years old, I met Pete Ledden, who owns Skater Powerboats. They were building 18-footers, and I loved those boats. They'd run the river and they'd blow the no-wake zones, and I'd sit on the back of my dad's boat on the swim platform and watch those guys blow by at 80 miles an hour. My dad, in 81, business was terrible. He was in the real estate business. Interest rates were crazy. Nothing was selling. He had a bunch of boats. And in Michigan, you've obviously got to pull them out, winterize them, store them. Not an economical or feasible thing to have multiple boats. And one of his friends, who was a broker, came up to him and says, "Hey, I've got that 36 pacemaker sold, but you got to take a trade." My dad said, "What's the trade?" He goes, "Well, it's one of these little 18-foot skaters that Pete Ledden's building here in town." And I heard that and my ears just went up. And so, of course, I went to Catholic school and I prayed every Wednesday and every Sunday that he was going to take that boat on trade and that he'd end up keeping it. And lo and behold, he did. So when I was 11, I got my first 18-foot skater, and that was really what kind of set the speed bug in me. My dad used to actually take me from the lake that we lived in Southwest Michigan to another lake, Gun Lake, which was just north of us by about 20 miles. Every Sunday, he'd put me in by myself and let me go out, and these guys had Sunday night races. And so we'd make sure the boat had 10 gallons of gas in it or less. It was as light as we could make it. And of course, I only weighed 100 pounds. And so I'd be out racing all these guys, and that was kind of the start of it. So anyway, then I got fountain fever at 12 years old, and I actually, believe it or not, the bank financed me on a fountain when I was 18. I got my first 35 fountain.
At 18 years old?
At 18. So yeah, the bank approves me on this boat, and I'm driving this S10 extended cab truck, and I just bought a 35 fountain, and I'm like, oh man. So then I had to call the credit union and apply for a truck loan before the bank loan hit my credit report for the boat. And just a juggling deal. But,
did it work out?
Oh, made me work, man. That was part of it.
At 18, you buy a 35-foot fountain, and then you have to get a truck as well. And so all these years later, that love for speed has only grown, it seems like.
Yeah, it just it definitely made me work. You gave me a work ethic, you know. Even you got those payments, you're either going to make it or lose it, and yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about work. I mean, this lifestyle, these kind of things that you chase and you work so hard for, they don't just happen. And so what does Joe Perog do for work?
Well, back then, I was in real estate at 18. I had my real estate license and working for my dad's company. And then I also was writing service at our neighbor's car dealership. And I was on commission there. And so anyway, long story short, obviously I made pretty good money at a young age and was able to do that. And real estate and mortgages is what we've been doing ever since. And now we have a private lending group that we lend money and do ourselves. And so, yeah, it's all come around, but it's all preparation, meeting opportunity. And when those two come together, that's what creates success.
We're right here in the Cove, like Performance Cove. This is like powerboat capital in America, and you actually have some experience in the competitive offshore racing. So talk to me a little bit about that.
From the time I was young, you know, watching the races, I always said, man, I want to race, I want to race. And met a guy, Scott Porte, out of Florida, where we live. And he says, well, you want to race? Let's go buy a boat. And so we called Billy Moff and bought his super stock boat, and Scott changed the bottom on it, did a bunch of stuff. And we went out and ran it, and Scott's stuff worked. And so I ran with Scott for a few years, and then Scott went on and has run with other people since, and has just been out of it as of recent. But he's a racer at heart, and he was a great guy to learn that sport with and to be involved with it and do the traveling. And
you guys have any success?
It was a lot of fun. Yep, we did. We had a lot of fun, and we had some great finishes, and no, it was a blast.
All right, so one of the things that makes your story so cool is the fact that these last couple of years with Lake of the Ozarks Shootout right here, your son has not only set some records and been one of the youngest drivers, but you guys have gotten to do that together. So talk to us about how now in Joe's life, it's not just about Joe and the boats, you've kind of got someone you're bringing along.
Nah, I couldn't be any better. Doing it with your son is, that's as good as it gets. And so we've run the shootout with this boat for the last 3 years. We've won our class for the last 3 years. And so Corey started when he was 18, and he's won every year that we did it. And so, no, doing the shootout's a great deal. I love the cause, I love the people, I love the atmosphere it creates, all of it.
Sure.
It's great.
Sure.
And doing it with him is just icing on the cake, and then being able to win is another layer of icing.
Sure, so now we got Corey, 20 years old, already running 3 shootouts, but it didn't just start these last 3 years. So Corey, talk to us a little bit about what it's been like and how you first kind of got exposed to high-speed boats.
From memory, I drove the first boat at 14, an STV Pro Comp. It was good for 2 years, and then it just started to break. And he picked up a skater and started to drive that, and that was my first twin boat that I drove. And then we got used to that for a little while, and then he got his big break, bought that boat, and the same week it closed, and started doing that together, getting comfortable. And then we did the shootout, and when I got here, you know, we had only really ran the boat for 3 or 4 times at that point. And so I'm kind of thinking we're just participating in this deal, and that was cool enough for me. I was like, this is great. And then we went out, and I think we went 123 the first day. Went back the next day, and then we went 128. And I still felt like there was more. So then the next year, we dropped the 134, and I was like, now I felt cool. Now I felt like I belonged.
Sure. That's zipping, going 70 miles, but you start talking those speeds and you go 123, 128, 134. Does it feel different from 123 to 134 if you're in control of the boat?
Definitely.
You can tell that extra.
Yeah, there's a lot of, just feels light.
The boats get very light. The faster they go, they definitely feel light, and that's why they're picking up speed. There's less drag, and you're literally running on air.
Sure. So let me ask you guys, with the shootout, that's the drag race style where you get to go as fast as you possibly can on that 3/4 mile. How do you train for that? Like, how do you get this particular boat ready? Because you can't really go 130 miles an hour on the lake to practice, can you?
At times you can, yeah, but there's a few things that have been done to this boat. One, Scott Porte, as I mentioned before, owns a company that builds hydraulic brackets. So we're able to move these motors up and down, as well as trim them in and out as we're running the boat. So he's steering it, and I'm kind of playing the piano and watching the RPM, start the thing real high, let them slip through the line, lower the motors down as we're going down the course to where it bites. And so I think that's a big part of the success of this boat. So this thing is set up pretty well for a 36 foot For a 36 Doug ride, it runs really well.
And we've already seen it. You said the 134, but you guys had said, hey, that might not be all the boat has in it.
No, possibly not. We're gonna make some changes this year, again, and we'll see what it's got, but definitely mid to upper 130s, maybe 140.
Three years in a row you've run this boat. Not many teenagers your age, college-age kids, are running a 36-foot catamaran that speed. Does it make you popular with your friends or with kids your age? I mean, do you get a lot of comments and feedback?
Coworkers think it's cool. I don't know. When people come up to me and say, Corey, good run, I want to feel like you're right, that was a good run. You know, that's all I'm at.
You just want to make sure that in your position driving with Dad on the sticks,
I did my part.
You did the best possible and you allowed the boat to rip the way it's built to rip. And you don't feel like you have yet. Well, that's fair, but you're not gonna do anything crazy, Dad, so don't get stressed out. As you look back at Mom over your shoulder, like, you hear this, boy? This is the Corey we know and love. Yeah. That's greatness.
And like I said in the beginning, it was just, I mean, this was such a dream only 2 years ago. We never thought we were gonna get to this point. We had the dock, we had the boat, like, it just happened out of nowhere.
Something I gotta ask before we get out on the boat, because you were sharing with me a little bit. I know people watching are gonna think this is awesome, but you've got a couple of other boats, one in particular that you're working on that we're gonna be able to see here in the, not maybe near future, but there's another one that's gonna be a pretty special boat.
Yeah, we're, I've had a deal and it's been in the works forever. It seems 3 years now. Anyway, we're building a 42 Cat and putting triple 500 comp motors on it. And so we'll see what that thing brings, but it should be fun. I've had a couple other triple engine Cats in the past, so I know that it's doable. And again, it will have hydraulic porte brackets on it so I can move the motors around, and we'll get it balanced and we'll make it work.
That's gonna be wild. 3 500s on a 42, that thing's gonna zip.
Should keep up with traffic, we'll see.
Well, we'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm excited you see some photos of the process. We'll look forward to that. But as for us right now, why don't we hit the water?
All right.
Here we go, baby.
Here's your speed up top.
That's wild.
There's 100.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Come on, baby. That's awesome.
All right, here, we'll give it a little rip. See how it feels lighter?
Oh, that was unbelievable. I think we got to 118.
119 or 120 it went, yeah. Here, jump in here. You got it.
You want me to jump in there?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I won't let you in trouble. I'll tell you what to do, is walk you through it.
Wow. I wasn't expecting to drive.
It's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, let's get Corey up here.
Hop up, Corey. All right, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, baby. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Come on. All right, that was a thrill. How fast did we get out there, Joe?
I think we've touched 120 maybe.
120, I think that's the fastest I've been
on a boat. I certainly appreciate that. And I'm telling you what, man, what a great time we've had here getting to learn a little bit about your history and the way it's all transitioning as we look forward to seeing what Corey does, especially with Shootout coming up. But I want to thank you guys for sharing with us and allowing us to come take a ride in the Doug Wright. That was special.
No problem, anytime.
Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Icons in Offshore. For William Holtz with Lake TV, with the Pirogs, we'll see you next time.
Don't miss out on your favorite show. Watch Lake TV on demand on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV.
Let's be honest, nobody enjoys moving. At least not until everything is pretty much over. Wouldn't it be nice to get to that new house honeymoon phase as quickly and stress-free as possible? At All Around Movers, it's a little like fast-forwarding to the good part. We take care of the heavy lifting, packing, assembly, we've got it covered. All around. With All Around Movers, you don't need to worry about the process, just trust it. We handle it all the way, all the time. All Around Movers.
What's up, Lake of the Ozarks? William Holtz inviting you to tune in to our next LOZ featured doc series. We're at Portachima Cove to show you Dean Luke and family's incredible lake lifestyle. They got boats, they've got accessory, they've got plants, and a whole lot more. Don't miss our next LOZ featured doc series. Nothing is more important for a boat than the dock it calls home. For the dock of your dreams that provides safety for your boat and comfort for you and your family, there's no choice better than DockWorks. With over 30 years of combined experience in dock construction and design, your DockWorks dock will be a custom fit to your needs and desires. New construction, additions, and repairs to buoys, swim stairs, and ramps, nobody knows how to build on this lake like DockWorks. DockWorks, because at the lake, your home doesn't stop at the shoreline. It's Speedboat Magazine. Check out speedboat.com and connect with us on social media. If you feel the need for speed, you need Speedboat Magazine. Just so cool to catch up with Joe and Corey, and of course, Joe's mom, Marcy. Just an amazing family. They've been so good to us here, and their story is so cool. So we'll be watching this weekend to see what my buddy Corey drops in that beautiful black and orange Doug Wright Performance Cat. Gonna be awesome. Now, speaking of performance boat centers, right? We were right there outside in that cove. It's an iconic location when you talk about Lake of the Ozarks, but a lot of you may not know it's an iconic location when you talk offshore racing globally. They are one of the leaders in what they've done right here in our backyard is pretty incredible. Of course, they've been the title sponsor for Lake of the Ozarks Shootout for almost the last 10 years. In my calculations, they've single-handedly funded this event with $500,000 of their own money, and they're working on some pretty cool stuff. The new performance power boats, if you haven't seen, you've probably been living under a rock. They've got the P280, the P360, and the new P420, all done right there on site. But as much as I'd love to tell you about it, we were actually on site with Performance Boat Center to take a little look around with our friend Jessica Bruce.
Okay, so Michael, tell me again, this is one of how many storage facilities?
So I have 3 indoor storage buildings on the property, and this is one of 3, and this is our largest.
Okay.
This is 33,000 square foot, and this is 2 years old.
Okay, and these boats are for sale or they're privately owned and you're storing them?
So some are for sale, some are for service, and some are just for storage.
This is so cool. I mean, this is stunning.
So where we are right now is actually Performance Power Boats rigging building. So this is where the boats get finished. After they get prepped and painted, they come right here, and all the interior, audio, screens, everything is installed here. Wow. It did take some time to get that mastered, and we do have it mastered. We have a great team that does it, and we're very proud of our team. So.
That's so cool. Okay, so in addition to storing the boats, selling the boats, you rig and paint the boats as well. And then you make a line of boats.
That's correct.
Okay.
And that's the boat that we actually generally rig here is this Performance Power Boat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest, guys. I was overwhelmed on site at Performance Boat Center. Michael Joseph Hall took us into the storage facility where we were at in that tour. I was speechless. I actually may have even shed a tear. No joke. It's mind-blowing what they're doing out there. And if you get to go on site at Performance Boat Center, you get to see all the boats. But could we take a ride? You bet your sweet butt we did.
So we do manufacture our own brand, Performance Power Boats. We do the rigging here as well and paint. So all the designs you're going to see on those cats came from us, painted in our facility, rigged in our own facility. We do have another location in Houston where the boats are laid up. And then when the hulls are done there, they come up here and we put them together. It's a huge thing for us because it's really taken off, and the models have really, really taken off.
So, Kyler, what particular boat are we in today?
So today we are in a Performance Power Boat P420. It's a 42-foot catamaran powered by twin Mercury Racing 500Rs. A full carbon fiber hull, capable of about 130 miles per hour.
Oh goodness, and how fast are we gonna go?
We got some smaller props on today, so we'll get a lot of torque, but we'll still go about 110.
Okay, smaller props, thank goodness.
And is this the same boat, right? We were just getting that amazing facility tour. We saw the hull and we saw one of these getting painted, right?
Yep, so we saw a bare one getting windshield test fitted, and then we saw one that was getting cut and buffed right out of the paint shop, and now we're in finished product.
Okay.
So you got to see all three stages of what someone waits a year for.
Okay.
All right, without further ado, Jess, you want to go fast?
I think so.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. Woo!
Yeah, big shout out to Kyler Jackson, Michael Landon, Joseph Hall, and the crew at Performance Boat Center with Mark Waddington and Brett Manier. Just such a fun day, and we hung out with them a lot over Insurance Offshore. Weekend we showed you earlier some of the race highlights, but now let's take a look back at June's Insurance Offshore with the best sights and sounds from the weekend.
In 10 minutes. Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Offshore 2025. Can't wait.
Yeah, just really cool stuff at Insurance Offshore. Check out Lake TV's pages if you haven't already. Lake TV Offshore on YouTube, of course, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Not only the Lake TV page, but you'll also want to check out my page, William Holtz Lake TV, as I give you a lot of extra behind the scenes. And I love the offshore boat content, so make sure you plug in with me. Now, over X Insurance Weekend, we spent a lot of time with the hometown favorite team, Tyler Miller and MCon Racing. Now we're going to take a look back at our week with MCon Racing.
10 minutes. Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Offshore 2025. Can't wait.
Yeah, just incredible. And of course, Myrick Coil, Tyler Miller become two of the biggest names in offshore right here from Lake of the Ozarks. Hey, and a lot of people don't realize that Myrick Coil was a student at Lake Career Technical Center in Camdenton, just a class above Tony Battiato, two names you'll see all weekend. We've been talking about, super cool. And as we round out X Insurance Offshore, for those of you who follow the offshore racing world, it was a great weekend in Superstock for Ray Marine. It was a great week for Graydale Racing with Chris Grant and Jay Moeller. And of course, Team DeFalco took a checkered flag in a second place finish. Now that race was protested, but MCon Racing got a Class 1 checkered flag on Sunday. Just a great weekend. And when we talk about MCon Racing, Myrick Coil has become maybe the face, maybe the name in offshore racing. And I think it's only fitting that we throw back to 2020 with one of the greatest the greatest Shootout Hall of Fame classes had Don Onken in it, but it also included Myrick Coil.
The honor means a lot due to the fact that I came here as a spectator, not knowing much about boats and not really realizing there was boats like this out there, and then becoming a mechanic and learning as much as I could from all the awesome people around here to eventually being a Top Gun and a Hall of Fame recipient is pretty cool. Well, it's a 20-year story, but as far as how it started is parents had a lake house down here, come down a couple weekends of summer through high school, knew a little bit about boats. They had a little Formula 242 and went to the shootout with a buddy one weekend, actually after, probably 1999. And when that happened, I had never realized there was all these cool boats out there. So my mom had always told me that, hey, we can never get anybody to work on our boat. And I always took it as a grain of salt, whatever, And I had a mechanical ability. I just never had the right schooling or whatever it took. So she had told me that, hey, there's a tech school down there. You should go by and look at it. So shootout Saturday, Sunday, 99, 2000, one of those years. And ended up going there, meeting Larry Whitrock at the LCTC. Started class that Wednesday so a lot of stuff happened on Monday, Tuesday. Went home, told my girlfriend I'm leaving, quit my job, all that, moved to the lake, lived on chicken breasts and baked potatoes for a year and went to school. And from there, learned a lot about marine mechanics. Worked at Advanced Marine right out of tech school. From there, Matt and Steve are awesome guys at Advanced Marine. So after that happened, Dave Scott was one of their customers, and he was getting ready to go big time into boat racing. And so he goes, hey, you want to go? And me being in my early 20s and not married, not having kids, heck yeah, I want to go. So we did years of 16 to 20 events a year, from Anheuser-Busch conventions to boat races to all kinds of cool stuff. So traveling all over the country through my 20s, getting to learn all this cool boat stuff, getting to meet a lot of cool people that taught me what they knew and shared secrets or, just regular conversation. After that, won multiple world championships and Top Guns with Dave Scott. After that had all happened. 2008 happened. InBev bought Anheuser-Busch, lost our sponsorship, so we went to working on customers' boat, build a pretty good clientele at Naughty Marine. So when that happened, we had some pretty elite customers from Naughty Marine with some really extreme boats. Performance Boat Center, new on the scene, wanted they still do. They want to be the best in the nation. So at that point, they took me and my crew and our customers, and they purchased Naughty Marine, and we moved to the 21-mile marker, which, how odd, 21-mile marker comes back into play from my first time being at a shootout to now working there. We have an unbelievable service department, unbelievable sales department at Performance Boat Center, and that's 5 or 6 years ago now. So at the time we got started, won the Top Gun with Don Elkin, happened to be that year. So icing on the cake to everything that was happening. Mark and Brett said, hey, let's go boat racing, more Mark. We went boat racing, we won some world championships, we won some national championships. Now we have 2 boats that race. Won another national championship last year in the stock boat, which Wright Performance is one of our key brands, and we actually do all the rigging and painting and everything there at the shop. So lots of learning, and I guess that's about it. Now we're here, 2020. So if I had a favorite memory about the shootout, it would probably have to be getting in a 36-foot skater that had what the engine builder told us around 3,400 horsepower. And I had never been in the boat to even get it on plane. I knew how, I talked to Johnny and he told me how I was gonna react and things like that. So most of the time when you get told that you're next up, you get all in, buckled in, you actually kind of do a loop around to get your bearings, get the boat on plane, get to your 40 mile per hour. Flags are going up and down from the boat telling you to slow down, speed up, and then you get to nail it and do your pass. At the time we went to go get it on plane, I'm like looking over at Johnny like, what's wrong? And he goes, well, I kind of wondered if it would do this, if it'd have a problem getting on plane. And I go, okay, so what do you mean we're not gonna get on plane? And he goes, it just has some turbo lag and all this stuff. And he goes, go out and get on the nose. And I'm like, you're joking, right? Get on the nose of the boat? I'm like, life jacket, helmet, cords plugged in. He goes, no, go out there, get out there. So I run out, unhook everything, jump, this is an open boat, jump out, get on the nose of the boat, and my 180 pounds breaks the boat over, it gets on plane. So now we're on plane, I'm running back into the cockpit and sit down, get in there. So and I was like, man, that was kind of wild just in itself. Turn around and he's whacking the throttles, getting it all, the turbos heated up. We come around and less than 30 seconds later, we're doing 195 in a 36-foot boat, going through the traps, see over 200 after we leave the traps, but then slow down, like, that was wild, you know, from not knowing if we were going to get on plane to almost 200 miles an hour through the shootout in a open boat that you'd never driven before, ever, was pretty extreme. And I would have to say that was a pretty exciting moment in the whole shootout. It's mind-blowing as far as what it does for especially the fire departments and all the people that receive the money that it helps through the charities. I'm really excited to be part of that. It'd be neat to know the number through all the years. It's got to be in the millions, of course, but for millions of dollars to be raised, for all the spectators to come and spend their money with all of the people around here, from everything from like us in the marine industry to people that are lodging it, to people that are feeding them, all that. It's just a great deal for that to happen. And the Midwest, and you know, I call it the Riviera of the Midwest, to get notoriety on how cool it is. Well, the fans and the volunteers, I'd say that's the coolest. There's been some boats to where I'm not doing as much, whether I'm just holding the throttle down and knowing exactly what it'll do. I'll take a second to look out and go, you know, and to the guy that's concentrating, you know, because I'll be holding the throttles, like watching the tacks, and I'll look out there for a second. I'll go, you wouldn't believe all the people that are watching this thing, you know. And at that point, it's a different feeling to know that there's all these people out there that came to watch you, and that's really neat. I've been to races where a lot of people are watching, but one boat at a time is pretty neat to see one boat at a time going through, and that boat to get everybody's full attention at that point. First time I was told that I'm racing the plane, I thought it was pretty goofy. Just to let you know, I'm like, racing a plane, you know? He's like, yeah, he'll come up beside you and, you know, hold it wide open and he'll stay with you. And I was like, yeah, but I see this guy drop out of the sky. He's got a lot of speed on me already, you know? So, of course, I'm already being the competitive boat racer guy. But there's times I've even done it with my phone to where I'm wide open, just like I said, watching the spectators. I look out and I was like, he's right there. So I grab my phone, aim it at the window, and he looks out and he gives me one of these, you know, and that plane's like sideways, blowing smoke out, tire right there, wing right there. It's pretty intense, and it's neat to have that type of experience that you would never get if you weren't doing that. So it's really neat that you go, where'd he go? And then the next thing you turn around and you're flying back the other way, there he is. You know, it's a neat deal. There's so many. I could not, the people that stand out to me, or anybody who's let me run or told me they want me to run their boat. And it can be from Don Unkin to the first person that ever let me run one, Kevin Nowak. So Kevin Nowak was my first 42 fountain. I've been with the Bat Boat, Elliott Gray. I've been in so many different boats. So all those people, I know if I didn't even mention your name, it means so much that you thought I was good enough to run your boat. Matt and Steve, them being ate up with a shootout. I can remember being in Advanced Marine in their little office, and the whole wall all the way around, maybe 4 plaques high, as many as you can remember, all being shootout plaques. So that's big time. Dave Scott, of course, because I don't know how many Top Guns he won. It was a lot, but being part of that was big time. So Dave Scott, my mom, because the fact that she actually said, go do it, and you know, you needed somebody to tell you that. You know, you just don't necessarily, you know, in your early 20s, like, hey, leave the state, go to school, and then start a career like in the next 6 months, you know, or 8 months. So mom, later on my wife and all my kids, I mean, my kids don't even realize like their dad's a boat racer. They think it's cool, but you know, it's like their friends come over like, that's your dad, you know, it's cool, you know. So family, of course, friends, family, Performance Boat Center, Mark and Brett, Dave Scott, Don Unkin, all the Johnny Tomlinson for giving me all the knowledge and all the experience with all that stuff. So it's endless. All the mechanics that I've worked with. So it's Ron Dugan for nominating me and telling me for years that you're going to get there and you're going to be in there. So yeah, so it's a neat deal. I'm Myrick Coil with Performance Boat Center. I am being inducted into the 2020 Shootout Hall of Fame.
What's up, Lake of the Ozarks? William Holtz inviting you to tune in to our next LOZ featured doc series. We're at Portachima Cove to show you Dean Luke and family's incredible lake lifestyle. They got boats, they've got accessory, they've got plants, and a whole lot more. Don't miss our next LOZ featured doc series.
Don't miss out on your favorite show. Watch Lake TV on demand on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV.
Purchasing a boat is a pretty big investment, and when you purchase a rough water dock, you're protecting that investment for years to come. Rough Water Dock has been your trusted dock builder at the lake for over 30 years, specializing in custom docks that are built to withstand the rough waters of the Lake of the Ozarks. Rough Water is a full-service dock builder offering commercial construction, dock additions, swim docks. They're Amen certified and fully insured. Rough Water Dock, the peace of mind you want and the protection you need.
Nothing is more important for a boat than the dock it calls home. For the dock of your dreams that provides safety for your boat and comfort for you and your family, there's no choice better than DockWorks. With over 30 years of combined experience in dock construction and design, your DockWorks dock will be a custom fit to your needs and desires. New construction, additions, and repairs to buoys, swim stairs, and ramps, nobody knows how to build on this lake like DockWorks. DockWorks, because at the lake, your home doesn't stop at the shoreline.
Let's be honest, nobody enjoys moving. At least not until everything is pretty much over. Wouldn't it be nice to get to that new house honeymoon phase as quickly and stress-free as possible? At All Around Movers, it's a little like fast-forwarding to the good part. We take care of the heavy lifting, packing, assembly, we've got it covered. All around. With All Around Movers, you don't need to worry about the process, just trust it. We handle it all the way, all the time. All Around Movers.
It's Speedboat Magazine. Check out speedboat.com and connect with us on social media. If you feel the need for speed, you need Speedboat Magazine. So congratulations as you see the names that are included in that Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Fame. None greater, of course, than Myrick Coil. And before we go on to another offshore legend that'll be all over the place this weekend for the shootout, I actually got a chance to try to learn to fish with Myrick.
So you got the spinning reel for this guy?
I'll just cast you need one of like the...
Definitely not one of them.
Do you have me like a Disney Minnie Mouse pole that's more my speed? So I'm just There you go, bud. Be ready. You might catch one of them big old spoonbills. I wouldn't know what to handle. But give me a glove. I'm not touching this nasty thing. Do I need to hit this or... Oh. Look at bird's nest right off the bat. Maybe you watch a YouTube video next time before you come out. You know, I thought that you were my instructor. I'm gonna hold this down. Yep, but thumb on the spool. Oh, you never put your thumb on the spool again. On the, okay. Here, let me dig out another bird's nest for you.
Okay, thumb on the...
on the...
Push
Missy,
hard.
teach him.
Hit the button. Now when you, like, no!
Another bird's nest. No, I didn't get a bird's nest this time. You got a bird's nest. Don't try to deny it. Show the camera. He calls that a not bird's nest. Give me that back. I'm sick of digging bird's nest.
Now y'all just need to catch one.
I think I got one. Get it,
yank
it, yank it. I think you're snagged. He's snagged. I was all excited. He had a tree pounder. That one got away. That's my fault. The big one. He had a 5-pounder on everybody. He just jumped off. Listen, I just realized there's whales in Lake of the Ozarks. Okay, there's no way Myrick can catch one. Too busy digging your bird's nests out. Yeah, I would say that I probably need to get back out there and keep practicing. I apologize to Myrick about my bird's nest that I didn't get time and time again. And something new for Myrick at this year's shootout is he won't be in the Dirty Duck boat, as you guys already know, after meeting Adam earlier
tonight, but he's also not going to be racing the airplane, and that might be new for you. You might be watching and like, what do you mean race an airplane? Every year at Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, the air show, a big part of that where you actually see powerboats racing airplanes. So now we take a look back at some of the highlights from the last few years. Shootout Air Show. Yeah, it is that exciting. You'll want to keep an eye out for the Shootout Air Show this weekend. And like I said, it won't be Myrick. Good chance it's going to be Rusty Williams with Performance Boat Center and Dirty Duck Racing. He's rolled out the firstborn of that P420 at the air show. And so that's who I'd expect to be there. And as we look at tomorrow's event, right, the 2025 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, we couldn't go the whole pre-race show and not talk about, hey, it's a new location. It's not at Captain Ron's anymore. The event has moved over closer to Dog Days there by the state park. And so if you wanted to look at, here's some sights of what that new race course looks like. Maybe you saw Myrick Coil's drive with the Shootout page where he was out there showing you the new race course, but there is new, there's uncertainty. And so I would just say expect the unexpected as we head into this weekend, but something that's not new, or someone who's not new with Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, and surely on their broadcast starting tomorrow, is icon in the industry, Bob Teague. And once again, it's time to take a trip down memory lane as we look back when Bob Teague was inducted into the Shootout Hall of Fame.
What this honor means to me, as opposed to several of the honors that I've received for actually racing accomplishments and things like that, which would include championships and awards and Hall of Champions, is they're all for something that you actually do and achieve by points or whatever. This is an award or recognition by people. So it's people recognizing what you're contributing, and that makes it really special. Well, I'm going to prefer to call it the Shootout, because it is the Shootout. And how I got involved with the Shootout is originally, of course, with my business, Teague Custom Marine. We've taken care of customers over the years to make them perform better in the Shootout. I actually ran the Shootout with Lizardo Benitez years ago in a MTI, and he was from Peru. We set a world championship down in Peru. But over the years, I've come and helped out, and then it evolved into me volunteering to be part of the broadcast group probably close to a dozen years ago, and here we are today. I'm still here. Well, my favorite memory of the Shootout is actually when Ron Dugan took over the Shootout, and it was questionable whether or not it would have a place to occur and everything, and he stepping up and putting his family on the line to put this thing together and keep it going, that's one of the most important things. What it means to me to be part of financial contributions to charities is in line with whatever else that we do. My company and myself are involved in several different charities in quite a few different events, and also local in our own community. But this one is actually a little more special because I'm an LA City fire captain retired, and I know that the charity really supports the lake rescue and fire departments out here, so it's like a win-win for me. What makes the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout unique is this. It is the shootout. And it's really the first shootout, and other people have shootouts, so they're trying to copy it, but there's only one shootout, and it's the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. So that's what makes it unique, and it just happens to be at Lake of the Ozarks, which is one of the high-performance boating meccas of the world. When I found out that I was a selection for this year's class, I was shocked. I didn't really think that I deserved it. Why me? I mean, I'm just giving back like I normally do. I knew Bob Morgan very well, and I know just practically everybody that's been inducted, and I think they were all inducted for the right reasons, and I never considered myself as doing anything special other than giving back what we all should be doing. My name is Bob Teague. I own Teague Custom Marine in Valencia, California, and I'm one of the TV broadcasters for the Shootout.
Your boat life is too short to run around on the wrong prop, and with 35 years of propeller repair at Lake of the Ozarks, Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist, is an authorized dealer and repair facility for all your major brands of recreational and high-performance propellers. With thousands of new props in stock and the most advanced in propeller repair and scanning, Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist, have been crowning champions and saving vacations at Lake of the Ozarks for 35 years.
Hard to believe, but it's time for the shootout.
And for the first time since 2015, it's not on Lake TV, but we do have a pre-race show live Friday night.
Yeah, and the Cannonball Run is off and running.
Plus, Ike Skelton's hearing continued.
Yeah, and what is up with that brain-eating infection?
We talked with the Camden County Health Department. We'll tell you all about it, that and more, on this week's Cup of Coffee. Nothing is more important for a boat than the dock it calls home. For the dock of your dreams that provides safety for your boat and comfort for you and your family, there's no choice better than DockWorks. With over 30 years of combined experience in dock construction and design, your DockWorks dock will be a custom fit to your needs and desires. New construction, additions, and repairs to buoys, swim stairs, and ramps, nobody knows how to build on this lake like DockWorks. DockWorks, because at the lake, your home doesn't stop at the shoreline.
Don't forget to tune in to this month's edition of the Monthly Market Update. I'm Jessica Bruce with the Brewster Kelly Real Estate Team, where we'll be touring this month this gorgeous home located right on the waterfront here in Sunrise Beach. We're also going to meet up with Stacy Pirtle, one of the members of Community Foundation here at the lake, talk about what they do and some upcoming awesome events they have. And we are going to meet the newest owner of Doug Wright Powerboats, Justin Wagner, and we may even get to go out on a new 40-foot cat. All that and more on this month's edition.
Nice little change of pace for you. That was last weekend at Shady Gators, the Vintage Boat Cruise-In. Big shout out to Mark and Randy, everybody with the Vintage Boat Show industry. You can, again, go back to Lake TV's YouTube channel, Lake TV Offshore, and you can check out some incredible features. We got a 1966 Glastron, we got a 1974 Kona, and we got some twin Donzies from the early 80s. You're not going to want to miss those. But if we're talking boats, Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, we see the big dogs all weekend long. We're going to see crazy speeds. We're going to see new custom fiber holes, all kinds of stuff you see in the industry. But I always love those vintage boats, man. Those are absolutely classic. And so the Vintage Boat Show last Saturday was the same Saturday as the mini shootout. Always a beloved event with the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. Yeah, RC boats hit the springs at Ha Ha Tonka, and these guys get out of control building these RC boats to see whose speed was the best. And before we unveil this year's mini shootout Top Gun, let's just give you a little preview of what the event is like by taking a look back at the 24 mini shootout. And if you haven't ever been to the mini shootout, I highly encourage you put that on your calendar. It's always the weekend directly before the shootout and takes place at the Springs at Ha Ha Tonka. Those great images you're seeing right now are courtesy of Clint Schaffnit, and your Top Gun winner this year was Wyatt Jones with the Liberty Bell Laser Co boat. He hit an impressive speed of 117 miles per hour, and that photo of his boat also Clint Schaffnit. So pretty cool. And now as we look at the mini shootout, there's so many cool other events. But in case you missed it, before we get on with this year's shootout, let's take another look back at the 2024 top 10 runs from last year's shootout. It's time to look back at the top 10 runs from the 2024 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialists. But first, a few honorable mentions. Fan favorite Carry 6 Killer back at it once again.
Speed 69.69.
Carolyn Doris, the icon that never misses.
66.66.
Father and son duo Mike and Ryan Mawson hit Mawson's new personal best of 95 in his Cigarette 42X with triple 565 horsepower Mercury Racing engines.
Speed 95.95.
Midnight Express owner Eric Glasser rips 97 miles per hour in this gorgeous gray and purple center console.
Speed 97.97.
Mauricio Franco Vivanco runs 147 miles an hour in this DCB M44 Cat.
Speed 147.147.
100 mile per hour tri-tune? Yeah, Mike Misplay hits triple digits at 100 miles per hour in this trifecta tri-tune.
Speed 100 miles an hour, 100.
And now your top 10 runs from the 2024 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist. Number 10, Travis Oliver likes to go fast. Travis Oliver and Rusty Williams hit 163 miles per hour in Oliver's MTI 48, sporting twin Mercury Racing 1550s.
Speed 163.163.
Number 9, Roland does it yet again. A fan favorite at the event each year, Brad Rowland and his South Bay Tri-Tune outdid themselves in 2024, hitting a mind-boggling 115 miles per hour. Yes, on a Tri-Tune.
Speed 115.115.
Number 8, Manny Center Console World Record. Manny Amaro set a new world record for the fastest center console at last year's event. With this flawless Avanti, Amaro hit a sizzling 128, making it the world's fastest center console to date.
Speed 128.128.
Number 7, Let Freedom Ring. Freedom One Racing made their much-anticipated debut at the event in 2024. With Clint Eastwood and John Wayne in the boat, Freedom One dropped 170 miles per hour in their debut pass. Although disqualified for not shutting power down at the finish, it's actually believed that Freedom One was flirting with speeds close to 200 miles per hour by the time the team topped out. Number 6, 100 miles per hour on a PWC? After winning multiple PWC Top Gun, James Myers was the first 100 mile per hour PWC in shootout history, hitting 101 miles per hour last year. The new record and first triple-digit PWC was short-lived as Joe Cardella ripped an impressive 104 miles per hour moments later, slightly raising the bar. Number 5, Team Valvoline, all the way from Norway. Per Traldsen and Team Valvoline made the trip all the way from Norway with their 2018 Twister 24 powered by a single Mercury Racing 450R outboard. Traldsen made headlines and hit 119 miles per hour sporting that lone single outboard.
Speed 119.119.
Number 4, Team Yahoo flirts with 200. Team Yahoo with Jammin' Jones and Curtis Morris nearly hit 200 miles per hour in 24. Although disqualified in their first pass, Jones and Morris hit 196 miles per hour in the Team Yahoo 36 Skater Cat, sporting twin 2,000 horsepower Boost Power USA engines.
Speed 196.196.
Number 3, Factory Billet's mic drop moment. Team Factory Billet's Jim Schultz and Mike Vocher were hoping to top their own shootout V-bottom record of 184, a record they set back in 2023. On Saturday, in their only pass of the weekend, The 51 Outer Limits V-bottom took the course first and hit an unreal speed of 186 miles per hour, breaking their own record by 2 miles for the fastest V-bottom in shootout history. Number 2, Dirty Duck joins the 200 mile per hour club. Slug Hefner, with his sights set on dethroning Don Onken and American Ethanol, returned in 2024 with his Dirty Duck Skater 438 powered by twin 2,000 horsepower Carson Brummett marine engines. Hefner tapped Myrick Coil and Rusty Williams to run the boat, and the two didn't disappoint. They laid down a speed of 202 miles per hour, good for second overall and only the second boat ever to hit 200 plus miles per hour on the shortened course, the first non-Mystic to achieve that feat. Number 1. That's the 10th straight for American Ethanol. After securing the last 9 consecutive Top Guns at the event, Don Onken and American Ethanol outdid themselves once again last year. The 51-foot Mystic Cat was rigged with 4 total engines capable of producing in the ballpark of 12,000 total horsepower. With Mystic owner John Kosker and Tony Battiato in the boat once again, American Ethanol broke their own 3/4 mile course record of 2:14, which they set in 2023, last year dropping a mind-boggling 221 miles per hour. It marked the 10th consecutive overall Top Gun won by Don Onken and American Ethanol, with their eyes set on number 11 this year. This has been your top 10 runs from the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialists. Again, the top 10 runs gets you all ready for this weekend. American Ethanol, 10 straight Top Guns. Can they make it 11th? Of course, standing in their way, will it be Dirty Duck, who entered the 200 mile per hour club last year, or will it be Durana Hybrid, formerly known as Spirit of Qatar? Daryl Cuddall and his team, they are looking to take that Top Gun back. They haven't been here at Lake of the Ozarks Shootout in 10 years, and so it's gonna be interesting. And as we start talking about, we told you a few minutes ago, all the mini events that make up the shootout. It's massive, right? Happens year-round. You got the Wishing on a Ride, just an incredible event. A couple of different locations, but if you've never seen that event, that is one you should absolutely get involved in. We told you about the mini shootout. Hey, one thing, the street party. This year, the historic Bagnell Dam Strip with the Waves and Wheels Shootout on the Strip street party was as big as ever before with a fleet of boats. It's hard to believe. The crowds were massive, and it was just an incredible night, and that really is the biggest event outside the races themselves. Is Wednesday Shootout on the Strip street party. Justin Wagner, Waves and Wheels, DWR, Doug Wright Powerboats, been the title sponsor on that event for years. And if you did make that one, every year, Wednesday, the week of the shootout, that's one you're going to want to put on your calendar and get there early, because traffic was already insane at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you were there, you can certainly attest to that. And at this point in the pre-race show, we're going to pay tribute to the first female to ever run her boat in Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. But before we do that, remember me telling you about Doc Jansen and how the Outer Limits I got to drive wasn't the only boat in his fleet? Now let's take a look at his entire fleet of boats. My man, Doc Jansen. Now we got a lot going on here. I see we got the ski boat, we've got the racing boat, we've got the center console, but I noticed the old classic over there. So let's take a deeper dive look at some of these boats. Can we go over and tell the story of that guy?
Sure, let's go take a look at it. So it's a 1973 hardtop Century Coronado, and I think they went from fiberglass to wood in about '69. And there was always a lot of controversy because the big wood boat owners kept thinking if God really wanted people to have fiberglass boats, they would have made fiberglass streets. But my dad was super excited. He saved really a lot to work and buy these boats, and I said I'm going to keep it in the family, and they are perfect.
That's incredible. And how fast does this little guy get up to?
Probably a 48
Wow.
or so. It's 330 horsepower, Chrysler motor, but it's a real classic. We love taking it out.
I see the big center console. Tell us about this boat. This thing is unbelievable.
I got to work with Reggie Fountain when I raced boats for Fountain Power Boats, and we built them. And Reggie built this boat for me and with Brian Forehand in about 2008. I thought it was the perfect family boat to go to dinner, to put a lot of people in, be incredibly safe. And this has got a 300 horsepower, so it's got 900 horsepower. About 2 years ago, we updated the entire upholstery. Waves and Wheels designed it and stitched everything, kept the blue color in, new stereo, new upholstery, and just tied the whole boat together to really just make it look new and fresh, and that it didn't look like just like a fishing boat.
Now, the one I love, Doc, this guy over here, and I've seen this in the shootout, I've seen this Outer Limits. Talk to us about, this is probably your real baby, right?
This is my dream of a boat that I could have never dreamed of owning years ago. It was built by the late Mike Fiore, who owned Outer Limits. It's a 53-foot carbon fiber boat. It has 5 seats in it, and it has air conditioning, and it has incredible mercury power that's called either a 1350 or 1550. So with just a change of the key and the fuel, you can now change the horsepower from 1350 per motor to 1550, adds an extra 400 horsepower and probably another 400 plus RPMs. It's just flawless.
Let's be honest, nobody enjoys moving. At least not until everything is pretty much over. Wouldn't it be nice to get to that new house honeymoon phase as quickly and stress-free as possible? At All Around Movers, it's a little like fast-forwarding to the good part. We take care of the heavy lifting, packing, assembly, we've got it covered. All around. With All Around Movers, you don't need to worry about the process, just trust it. We handle it all the way, all the time. All Around Movers.
Nothing is more important for a boat than the dock it calls home. For the dock of your dreams that provides safety for your boat and comfort for you and your family, there's no choice better than DockWorks. With over 30 years of combined experience in dock construction and design, your DockWorks dock will be a custom fit to your needs and desires. New construction, additions, and repairs to buoys, swim stairs, and ramps, nobody knows how to build on this lake like DockWorks. DockWorks, because at the lake, your home doesn't stop at the shoreline. Top Lake of the Ozarks, William Holtz inviting you to tune in to our next LOZ featured doc series. We're at Portachima Cove to show you Dean Luke and family's incredible lake lifestyle. They got boats, they've got accessory, they've got plants, and a whole lot more. Don't miss our next LOZ featured doc series. Life truly is all about memories, but more importantly, those we create those memories with. And at Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, our staff focuses on the families we serve.
Maybe you wouldn't necessarily know where to start. Josh showed up from the beginning to the end. He did amazing. I would absolutely recommend them to everybody I know.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve.
It's Speedboat Magazine. Check out speedboat.com and connect with us on social media. If you feel the need for speed, you need Speedboat Magazine.
Purchasing a boat is a pretty big investment, and when you purchase a rough water dock, you're protecting that investment for years to come. Rough Water Dock has been your trusted dock builder at the lake for over 30 years, specializing in custom docks that are built to withstand the rough waters of the Lake of the Ozarks. Rough Water is a full-service dock builder offering commercial construction, dock additions, swim docks. They're Amen certified and fully insured. Rough Water Dock, the peace of mind you want and the protection you need.
120. Speed 101, 101. Speed 106, 106. Speed 74, 74. Speed 125, 125.
As we welcome you back to Lake TV's exclusive 2025 Lotto pre-race show, we are getting closer, my friends. If we look at our watch, about 12 hours or so, give or take, until the first boat should hit the course tomorrow morning. Are you as excited as I am? I highly doubt it. Well, as we move forward in tonight's pre-race show, getting you ready for this weekend, we gotta pay tribute to some of the greatest names in shootout history. And you'll remember in the top 10 you saw the 115 mile per hour tri-tune with Brad Rowland. Of course, you saw Mike Misplay with the 100 mile per hour tri-tune with his trifecta. But did you know that until 1992, tri-tunes, pontoons had never even run in Lake of the Ozarks Shootout? And to tell us a little bit more about that, let's talk with the first female to ever run her boat at the shootout, Carolyn Doris.
My name is Carolyn Doris. Well, that was back when it's Shooters 21. I think it was back in 67, 66, somewhere around there. Jim had the brainy idea of getting a woman involved in racing a boat, driving a boat. He said, if you can do it, anybody can do it. So I had my first go at it, and it was very thrilling. exciting, and I wanted to do it again over and over. I think the first run was 1996. Not to my knowledge. I was the very first. And as you know, Jim was the very first pontoon boat to ever run in the shootout. I think it was in 94. And 2 years later, he wanted me to run, which I thought was a crazy idea, but after I ran, I thought, this is great. Every year, never miss a year. I'm a little concerned because it's a new area, and I'd like to run the course before I actually run the course, but I don't know if I have the chance to do that. I've always enjoyed being at Captain Ron's, and that's what I'm used to, but I guess I'll have to get over my worries about that when I get there. Oh my gosh, Carrie Six Killer, she's a different breed. She is amazing. She should be in Women in Racing because that's her whole life. She loves boating. She loves every aspect of it, and she does so well at it. She does well at representing women in racing. You know, she's just gung-ho, and her personality is just ecstatic. I don't know, she's just always upbeat. That's one thing I love about Carrie. It's actually exciting. I mean, I never thought that this would snowball, you know, after Jim just asking me to run. I figured I'd run 1 year and that would be it. You know, I'd get a little publicity, but oh my gosh, it's snowballed and there's more and more women that are coming out. And some of these women are amazing. I mean, totally awesome. They kind of make me jealous because they're just so darn good. It was 79 miles an hour with a single engine. I would like to hit 100, but I know it's not gonna happen. I know the statistics with my motors and my boats that I build, you know. I would settle for 77. The water conditions have to be right. It's got to have a little bit of chop because pontoons, you know, they work on chop. Little air underneath it, and I got to set the trim just right, and you know, maybe I'll get there. She is young, beautiful, amazing. Her parents are fantastic. She's doing a great job. I don't know how she does what she does, but she does it great. One of the best things that's ever happened to Lake of the Ozarks. People get to see our lake, they get to visit our restaurants. We've got so many options here that people can do and play and see. It's thrilling to see all the boats coming in. I know for a fact, because we have a dealer in Lake Havasu, he comes all the way from Lake Havasu to run in this shootout. So there's more and more people, Michigan, you know, all over the country that come here. And it's just really exciting to see all these boats and all these people. I'm Carolyn Doris at the 2025 Shootout, Lake of the Ozarks.
Big shout out to Carolyn Doris and Playcraft Boats, of course, the late, great Jim Doris, first pontoon to ever run in this shootout, and he died early 2023. Of course, has not stopped Carolyn from running each and every year, and we're looking forward to seeing what speed she throws down this year. But as we look at Playcraft, been around forever. You know, pontoons, tritoons, those boats are legendary on the waters of Lake of the Ozarks. But a lot of you are noticing that over the last 5, maybe 10 years, but especially these last few, the changes in boats. I mean, MTI and Skater, what they're now doing. Some of these cats in the center consoles. How about Cigarette and Fountain now getting in the pleasure cat game? It's crazy just to see how much this industry is changing. But now you're seeing Fountain and Cigarette building and producing and manufacturing things you thought they never would. And so yes, boats here at Lake of the Ozarks are changing, and maybe the most impressive collection of boats down here at Lake of the Ozarks belongs to my buddy, Michael Atchison. All right, so let's talk about the boats, because there's 4 different slips. And first, the empty slip. What's going in that slip?
There's a 50 SL outer limits that we ordered 2 years ago. Should have been here by now, but it's in the final stages of getting built, so it'll be here by the end of the summer. And that's what goes in there. The lift's been built and installed, ready for it, ready to go. It'll be a lot of fun when we get it.
We'll have to come back and see that boat when it gets here. But all right, the Nortec, the beautiful center console. Tell us about this boat.
You know, we bought this a couple years ago. It was kind of the cross between a pontoon and a go-fast boat. Have it, love it. Thought I'd sell it when I ordered the outer limits, but we had so much fun on it. Kids have fun on it. We just decided we're going to keep it. It's just a great boat to jump on, run to the restaurant, just go for a ride, or idle around in coves. It's just, you can't beat it. There's no reason. It's why you see so many of them on the lake. I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah, center console didn't always used to be the most popular. Man, it has become the go-to boat on the lake.
Oh, they are.
It packs the best, like you said.
Yeah.
Speed, luxury on the water. Okay, so next to the slip where the outer limits is going to go, what is that monster over there?
It's an Azimuth S6. We ordered it a year ago, got it here this spring, and so yeah, we're having a lot of fun on it. It's a great boat.
So that boat like has living quarters and everything. Tell us a little bit about the details.
Oh, it's got 3 bathrooms. It's got 4 bedrooms.
In the boat?
In the boat. Yeah, it's a big boat.
And how fast does that guy go?
You know what? That'll run 41 miles an hour. Yeah, it's incredible. It's got 3 Volvo diesel engines on it. Yeah, I mean, for that big of a boat, that's fast. Typically, you'll see them run 30 to 32. Yeah.
That's awesome. That goes for a boat of that size.
That goes.
All right, and then over there, I see you got the pontoon. What are we working with there?
Oh, just a pontoon. I mean, it's take the kids out tubing, skiing, or just. You know what? It's just it kind of takes you back of what the lake used to be like. That's all everyone had, and so yeah, we'll always have a pontoon boat.
Just unbelievable. And if you think the guy's boat collection is impressive, go back to Lake TV and search for the biggest dock kitchen at Lake of the Ozarks. That will blow your mind. All right, so we got a little bit of the incredible new boats, but again, you'll remember me telling you I love those vintage and classic boats. And another one of my good friends, welcome the Lake TV crew, my buddy Randy James, to see his 1966 Larson.
We boated with this boat all the way through the 60s and 70s. He finally retired it in about 1996 or 7. And he came to me and he said, do you want this? Because if you don't, I'm just going to sell it. And I said, absolutely, I want it. And it sat in storage for 26 years. Finally, during the COVID summer 2020, I said, if I don't get it out and get it going now, I'm never going to. So I went and pulled it out of storage, and we did a little work on it. I've got a great friend who did all of the mechanical work on it to update it and get it going. He started it, turned it over like that, and it started. First time. We got it going finally in about August of that year. Then over the winter, got involved with Heartland Classics, and it's just been very rewarding getting the old boat back going again.
I want to talk about growing up with your dad, because for you to do this and build this dock around it, there must be some serious significance with the role that he's played.
He taught me everything I know about boating. I learned everything I know essentially about boating on that boat. And that's why it's important.
Shout out to my buddy Randy James for welcoming us and showing us that incredible 1966 Larson. I know his dad is smiling down. And as we get close to wrapping up, getting closer and closer to tomorrow morning's 36th annual Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, I'm getting fired up. And of course, new location. We're all wondering what's going to happen. It's important to remember that, yes, new location, new happenings, but one thing remains the same. It's the people. It really is the people of Lake of the Ozarks Shootout here at Lake of the Ozarks that make it so special. And I urge us all, even through the newness, even through some of the drama, that we would stay true to what this event is all about. Raising money for local charities while injecting a big boost for our economy down here at Lake of the Ozarks, and most importantly, putting on the greatest racing and boating event the country's ever seen. Before we go, we have to take one back look at American Ethanol as we relive what they've done the last 10 years. Heading into this year's shootout, the biggest storyline, without a doubt, has to be Don Onken's American Ethanol.
Year after year, right? This guy's amazing.
No doubt about it. 10 consecutive Top Guns for his 2013 51-foot Mystic Cat. Of course, you're looking back with Tony Battiato driving, Mystic owner John Kosker on sticks. And of course, you can't forget Earl Moorman, the crew chief, who does an amazing job. Dave, JD, Amy, Ben, and this boat, the last 9 years, has had 2 different packages. Year after year, they changing things, trying to perfect it. And last year, they set a 3/4 mile course record with 221 miles per hour. 2014 was the last time someone else took home the event's Top Gun. Of course, that was Spirit of Qatar. 2015, 208 miles per hour. 2016, 217 miles per hour with Slug Hefner in the boat. 2016, 217 miles per hour. Now in 2017, they shortened the course from a full mile to 3/4 of a mile. 2018, 204 once again. 2019, their 5th consecutive Top Gun. They slowed down a couple miles at 201, and then in 2020, 202 miles per hour for their 6th consecutive Top Gun. And then 2021 was not their best run in the 10 years, 190 mile per hour pass. Still good for best on the weekend. After 22, Don Onken went back to the drawing board and said it's time to stop messing around. In 2022, showed up back to the 200 mile per hour plus club with a blistering 207 miles per hour. Something had kind of flown off the back of the boat, a belt or something had flown off. And so we talked with Don Onken after the 22 shootout, and he said, listen, we left something out there with this setup. We didn't have it perfected. Next year, we're going to do better. And do better they did. 2023, they added 7 miles per hour, 214 miles per hour. But in 2024, probably the most impressive year yet, Don Onken rolled into town with his Mystic, and I'm telling you what, it had 2 different setups, 4 total engines, 2 with superchargers, 2 with pro chargers, about 11,000 total horsepower. That boat was capable of running, and did it. Tony Battiato, John Kosker, good for 221 miles per hour. And of course, this year, people are looking. The Spirit of Qatar boat and Steve Curtis are back. New name, new owner. Will they be able to be the Top Gun and end Don Onken's impressive run with American Ethanol Mystic Racing at Lake of the Ozarks Shootout? We've been in the shop with Tony Battiato. They've got this thing dialed in for the first time. 4 engines, the same setup, all with pro chargers. It's gonna be unbelievable, and everybody can talk. Everybody can say that they're capable of putting up a bigger speed. But for the last 10 years, one name has remained supreme at Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. Headed into this weekend, if you're a betting man, I wouldn't put your money anywhere else other than Don Onken and American Ethanol. It's Speedboat Magazine. Check out speedboat.com and connect with us on social media. If you feel the need for speed, you need Speedboat Magazine.
During this chapter of life, we are really taking the time to enjoy the little things.
So it was important to have our final wishes pre-planned so our family wouldn't be burdened later on.
Hedges Scott Millard made it simple, but thorough. They provided us with different options right here in the comfort of our home.
We are so glad that we planned ahead. Now a whole lot more of this, a little of this, all with the peace of mind we wanted.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we believe that every day is a gift, and so is every life. Take time to enjoy it.
Nothing is more important for a boat than the dock it calls home. For the dock of your dreams that provides safety for your boat and comfort for you and your family, there's no choice better than DockWorks. With over 30 years of combined experience in dock construction and design, your DockWorks dock will be a custom fit to your needs and desires. New construction, additions, and repairs to buoys, swim stairs, and ramps, nobody knows how to build on this lake like DockWorks. DockWorks, because at the lake, your home doesn't stop at the shoreline.
Let's be honest, nobody enjoys moving. At least not until everything is pretty much over. Wouldn't it be nice to get to that new house honeymoon phase as quickly and stress-free as possible? At All Around Movers, it's a little like fast-forwarding to the good part. We take care of the heavy lifting, packing, assembly, we've got it covered. All around. With All Around Movers, you don't need to worry about the process, just trust it. We handle it all the way, all the time. All Around Movers.
Don't forget to tune in to this month's edition of the Monthly Market Update. I'm Jessica Bruce with the Bruce & Kelly Real Estate Team, where we'll be touring this month this gorgeous home located right on the waterfront here in Sunrise Beach. We're also going to meet up with Stacy Pirtle, one of the members of Community Foundation here at the lake, talk about what they do and some upcoming awesome events they have. And we are going to meet the newest owner of Doug Wright Powerboats, Justin Wagner, and we may even get to go out on a new 40-foot cat. All that and more on this month's edition.
The boat is a 438 skater. It's about 43 feet long. I think it's a little over 12 foot wide. It's got two Carson Brummett supercharged motors in them, turbocharged, I should say, and they make about 23 or 2,400 horsepower each motor. Well, I've known Don Auckland for a long time. I've always liked him. And his crew chief, Earl Moorman, Earl and I have raced together for 30 some odd years. I got the opportunity to drive the boat for Don, and we ran 217. I think it was the 2015 shootout, and that was pretty exciting. So when this opportunity to put this boat together came up, we got to putting it together. Of course, it's not about trying to beat Don Auckland, but he does raise the bar up, and it gives us a pretty good challenge. So when the boat broke 200, it was pretty exciting.
Well, the opportunity arose when Slug bought the boat and reached out to Myrick about running it. And then I've been racing with Myrick since 2019, so definitely wanted to jump behind the throttles and go with them. So we started out testing a little bit, 3 years ago, and it's been great ever since. We just, it's been a couple challenges, but we've got it up and running every season and done great, better and better every year. So we definitely knew the boat was capable of it because we obviously added some duck juice to get it off the start line. But we didn't know for sure what number it was going to throw up, and it was very, very exciting. Breaking the 200-mile club in the shootout was pretty awesome.
It started out with just boating conversations out on some of the MTI Senate councils at the MTI Fun Run in March. And I jokingly told Rusty, I want to get behind the wheel of that thing. Then the conversations progressed, and we had dinner at a friend's house just a couple weeks ago, and we were both comfortable at the time with moving forward. So then it just became logistics and how do we make it happen? And I told Rusty, I said, I just want you to get me comfortable in the boat. And he laughed at me and said, you're never going to be comfortable at the speeds you're going to be running, but we'll get you prepped for it. And I'm pretty calm. I feel like I'm almost too calm at this point in time. I think it'll hit me once we're coming through that box to hit the course. But we've spent a lot of time in boats together, so none of this is new. None of it is outside of my comfort level. So it's been a great experience.
Everybody will be calm and cool and collected until you purge that duck juice and you put that helmet on. Then you're going to be shaking. Even I'll be nervous, but that's when it comes for real. So
they've made some changes, Carson has, and we feel like the geometry of the boat is pretty good. But we're sworn to secrecy, and it's top secret. We can't tell you exactly what he did. Now, if nobody, like last year when we put the duck juice on there, nobody took credit for it until we made sure it worked. Then everybody said, "Oh, that's my idea."
Definitely break 202. I think 205 is capable.
I'm on board with Rusty. It's, no matter what you do in life, you want to beat what you did before. You always want to progress, you always want to move forward, and I would be a very happy individual at a 205 number.
I'm hesitant to say that the last year, I don't think we were making full power going through the big end. If we've got that corrected, and on paper, I think we do, so I'm going to say a 207, 208. Right. No pressure, guys.
It's been awesome. I mean, racing is crazy. I mean, you can go to these venues and you spend, weeks and months to prepare and hours, and then you get in there for a 30-minute race, but it's such an adrenaline rush that it's 100% worth it. Growing up as a little kid, I always wanted to race boats. Like, even the teachers, when you fill out the little thing, like, what do you want to do for a living? And I go, race boats. And it's like, and no one really believed it, but here we are, racing boats. I mean, definitely does not pay the bills. That's 100%, so kids stay in school. But
I can attest to that.
Yeah, it does not pay the bills, but it is one heck of a hobby, that's for sure.
I'm very honored and proud to have Rusty in the boat, and now with Adam. And they're qualified to run the boat. They look after details. They make my life a lot easier, which for that I appreciate.
Slug and the Dirty Duck team and Rusty and the Performance Boat Center team, the reason I'm here is the relationships that we've established over the years of doing this sport or hobby or whatever you want to call it, but it's somehow become my life, and I love it. This is exactly where I want to be on a day where I should be working, sitting right here talking to you guys. So this is, it's all I can ask for. Very grateful and very excited.
Well, that's going to do it for this year's Lake TV's Shootout pre-race show. I'm William Holtz, and I thank you guys for tuning in and watching as we all get ready for this weekend's races. Should be a great race. I did want to give a shout out to our friends at Dockworks, Cool Breeze Marine, All Around Movers, Bruce and Kelly Team Rough Water Dock, and Hedges Scott Millard Family Chapels. And I also wanted to give a shout out to all the people who helped us make some of this incredible content you saw in tonight's pre-race show. And last but not least, the incredible team that helps us do this here at Lake TV. Sierra Smith, big help, David Leatherberry, Spencer Wall, and of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew Evans, making it all happen. And figured it was only fitting that before we go, we finish our pre-race show, taking one more look back at last year's top 10 runs. And remember, we'll be out there all day tomorrow and Sunday getting great content, getting those posted. So go connect with Lake TV Offshore on YouTube, and most importantly, both of our Facebook pages, our Instagram pages, and on TikTok, as well as our shootout group, Lake TV Shootout Coverage on Facebook. Thanks for watching. Be safe this weekend, and God bless. It's time to look back at the top 10 runs from the 2024 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist. But first, a few honorable mentions. Fan favorite Carry 6 Killer back at it once again.
Speed 69.69.
Carolyn Doris, the icon that never misses.
Speed 66.66.
Father and son duo Mike and Ryan Mawson hit Mawson's new personal best of 95 in his Cigarette 42X with triple 565 horsepower Mercury racing engines.
Speed 95.95.
Midnight Express owner Eric Glasser rips 97 miles per hour in this gorgeous gray and purple center console.
Speed 97.97.
Mauricio Franco Bavaco runs 147 miles an hour in this DCB M44 Cat.
Speed 147.147.
100 mile per hour tri-tune? Yeah, Mike Misplay hits triple digits at 100 miles per hour in this trifecta tri-tune.
Speed 100 miles an hour, 100.
And now your top 10 runs from the 2024 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist. Number 10, Travis Oliver likes to go fast. Travis Oliver and Rusty Williams hit 163 miles per hour in Oliver's MTI 48, sporting twin Mercury Racing 1550s.
Speed 163.163.
Number 9, Roland does it yet again. A fan favorite at the event each year, Brad Rowland and his South Bay Tri-Tune outdid themselves in 2024, hitting a mind-boggling 115 miles per hour. Yes, on a Tri-Tune.
Speed 115.115.
Number 8, Manny Center Console World Record. Manny Amaro set a new world record for the fastest center console at last year's event. With this flawless Avanti, Amaro hit a sizzling 128, making it the world's fastest center console to date.
Speed 128.128.
Number 7, Let Freedom Ring. Freedom One Racing made their much-anticipated debut at the event in 2024. With Clint Eastwood and John Wayne in the boat, Freedom One dropped 170 miles per hour in their debut pass. Although disqualified for not shutting power down at the finish, it's actually believed that Freedom One was flirting with speeds close to 200 miles per hour by the time the team topped out. Number 6, 100 miles per hour on a PWC? After winning multiple PWC Top Gun, James Myers was the first 100 mile per hour PWC in shootout history, hitting 101 miles per hour last year. The new record and first triple-digit PWC was short-lived as Joe Cardella ripped an impressive 104 miles per hour moments later, slightly raising the bar. Number 5, Team Valvoline, all the way from Norway. Per Toraldsen and Team Valvoline made the trip all the way from Norway with their 2018 Twister 24 powered by a single Mercury Racing 450R outboard. Toraldsen made headlines and hit 119 miles per hour sporting that lone single outboard.
Speed 119.119.
Number 4, Team Yahoo flirts with 200. Team Yahoo with Jammin' Jones and Curtis Morris nearly hit 200 miles per hour in 24. Although disqualified in their first pass, Jones and Morris hit 196 miles per hour in the Team Yahoo 36 Skater Cat, sporting twin 2,000 horsepower Boost Power USA engines.
Speed 196.196.
Number 3, Factory Billet's mic drop moment. Team Factory Billets, Jim Schultz and Mike Vocher were hoping to top their own shootout V-bottom record of 184, a record they set back in 2023. On Saturday, in their only pass of the weekend, the 51 Outer Limits V-bottom took the course first and hit an unreal speed of 186 miles per hour, breaking their own record by 2 miles for the fastest V-bottom in shootout history. Number 2, Dirty Duck joins the 200 mile per hour club. Slug Hefner, with his sights set on dethroning Don Onken and American Ethanol, returned in 2024 with his Dirty Duck Skater 438 powered by twin 2,000 horsepower Carson Brummett marine engines. Hefner tapped Myrick Coil and Rusty Williams to run the boat, and the two didn't disappoint. They laid down a speed of 202 miles per hour, good for second overall, and only the second boat ever to hit 200 plus miles per hour on the shortened course, the first non-Mystic to achieve that feat. Number 1. That's the 10th straight for American Ethanol. After securing the last 9 consecutive Top Guns at the event, Don Onken and American Ethanol outdid themselves once again last year. The 51-foot Mystic Cat was rigged with 4 total engines capable of producing in the ballpark of 12,000 total horsepower. With Mystic owner John Kosker and Tony Battiato in the boat once again, American Ethanol broke their own 3/4 mile course record of 2:14, which they set in 2023, last year, dropping a mind-boggling 221 miles per hour. It marked the 10th consecutive overall Top Gun won by Don Onken and American Ethanol, with their eyes set on number 11 this year. This has been your top 10 runs from the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, brought to you by Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialists.